How is everybody doing? I hope that you guys are doing fantastically well. We are actually going to be doing some serious recording here tonight. And as you can tell, we got a lot of stuff going on. Big night tonight. Welcome to the pre-show. This is actually the show where we actually spend some time going over a lot of things all surrounding the Welcome to America album that just got released today. This is the pre-show for those of you who are new to this. If you happen to be watching the whole entire show, this is the pre-show. We're going to be talking for about 11 minutes here, just kind of letting people get in and get comfortable and get situated, get your drinks, get your popcorn, get everything that you're going to be able to get. And then we're going to break into all of the fun stuff. It's going to be amazing. I hope that everybody's doing well. I see all of you talking. Now, keep in mind, when we break into the album chat part of this, it's going to be very difficult for me to be able to kind of go through all the process. But I see some and stop and talk to everybody because we're doing a recording here tonight, and it's pretty amazing. Linda, hello. Michelle, hello. Alfonso Star, sir, how are you? Hello. Sandra, hello. Veronica, Patricia. We are going to be having a lot of fun tonight. Tonight, we are actually going to do a full-blown show tonight for sure. We missed you guys on Tuesday. Charlotte, hello. We missed you guys last Tuesday because I was preparing for this show. And once we do this show, you're going to see exactly what all was involved in the whole process of doing this show. It's insane. Susan, hello. Sean, hello. Yeah, Donna says, I got mine today. It's beautiful. I also got mine today, but it is still in the box. It would not be an unboxing if I just went ahead and opened it. So I'm going to open it on air so you guys are actually going to see. As you can see, it's still sealed. I didn't find or locate Amazon paper or Amazon tape and put it back. I didn't do that. Robin, hello from Chicago. Yvette, hello. Lenny Beeson, what is up, sir? Susan, I think I already said hello, but if not, you just got a twofer. So tonight we're going to be doing a lot of different things. We're going to be, first off, starting at 7 o'clock, right when the show starts, I'm going to be doing an unboxing of the actual unboxing of it, which is probably not going to be the most fantastic audible scenario. But I want to make sure that everybody is really clear on how this is going to work tonight due to the fact that we are live on Facebook right now. We're live on YouTube right now. And also Mixcloud as well. So I want to make sure that you're really clear. Once Facebook and or YouTube start to recognize these tracks from the Welcome to America album, what's going to happen is they're going to kick us off. So we got to be really careful about how we do this. So here's what's actually happening. I am not going to be switching the audio. The audio that you hear right now through the camera is the audio that we're going with. So this way I can actually turn down the audio so you don't hear any song at all. That's going to be how we're going to do this. So I want to be really clear on how this is going to work. You need to go ahead and install the Funked Up app. That's Funked, Funked Up app. If you download that, you can get it for iPhone. You can also get it for Android as well. And listen to the show via that way if you really want to pay attention to the music. If you've already heard the album and you don't really need to hear a lot of the music, then absolutely stay tuned here. There are a lot of visual components all night. There's tons of visual components all night. So I'm going to be sharing images all night. And so it's going to be best that you watch it on YouTube or Facebook or Mixcloud. That's going to be absolutely the way to go. But we need to be, again, because of the way that their copyright laws work or rules work, it's annoying. I'm seeing a lot of people making comments about that they didn't get, they haven't gotten their delivery yet. A lot of people, I've heard, a lot of people that ordered from the store, from the actual official print store, have not gotten them yet. Amazon, they had it delivered today. It said it was going to be delivered between 4:30 and 7:30, so I was kind of freaking out a little bit. But luckily, I got it before the show, so I'm really happy about that. And we're going to be able to share that with you. I'm going to open the box with you guys right here. So again, there's a huge audio component. So please make sure, without a shadow of a doubt, please make sure that you're tuned in because you're going to want to see a lot of the really cool stuff that we have going on. I'm also going to be opening up a window for Mixcloud right now because I know that Mixcloud is a totally different beast than Facebook and YouTube. And so I've got to keep an eye on both of the chat rooms. Anyways, so we want to make sure that everybody is taken care of and that you're hearing everything and also seeing everything. But if you really want to hear the music, maybe you've held off and you have not heard the album yet, absolutely positively, you're going to want to start up the app and listen via the app. A lot of people watch the show on video, but they also have the app going. So when the song is playing, they can actually just kind of, enjoy that. That's all perfectly fine and dandy. That's definitely the way to go because you are going to be able to hear the music and the songs unfettered, clear, crystal bell clear through the app. But on the video portion of it, that's not going to work that way because I'm going to have to. This is probably about it's going to get, just because of the fact that I have to talk over the audio when the songs are playing on the video portion of it. So please download the Funked Up app so that you can hear this show in all its entirety. But we're not going to be going live on that for like 5 minutes. So 5 more minutes, and then we're actually going to start the show. I'm going to be doing the unboxing, which is very heavy visual. So I probably shouldn't even bother going live for the visual part of that. So it is what it is. We're going to do some unboxing. We're going to have some fun with it. And we're going to talk about it. And hopefully you guys will all be able to take it all in. But please have the app going so that you can hear these songs in crystal clear quality. That's the most important part. So secondly, welcome one and all. For those of you who are new here, it is I'm seeing so many great comments. Danielle, how are you? Shirley, how are you? Derek, what's going on? Tanya, hello. Sina, hello. Yeah, Sina says she got her Amazon Super Deluxe. This is actually happening. And Susan says that she ordered it from the estate, but she's not getting it till tomorrow. She got it CDs. Krista, hello. Lenny says this is coming Monday. Lenny, when did you order it? Peggy pre-ordered. And yeah, see, this is another part, the thing that I think they're trying to figure out with the estate, really. I know they want the absolute best for all of you, and they want to take care of all the fans. But the reality of it is it's really, it's a huge struggle. It's a huge struggle for them because there's people all over the world, and it's just a mess. So anyways, we are going to be, hey, Daniel, how are you? So we're going to be having some fun tonight. Again, we're going to be doing an unboxing here in less than 4 minutes, which is going to be a lot of fun. And I'm going to be cutting this open. And then right after that, we're going to be doing an album chat. And the album chat is insane. It's, I was able to really kind of dig through a lot of old interviews, listen to a lot of different things, read tons of articles, and just find a good bit of information on it. So I'm really looking forward to doing the album chat. And then for the listening party that we're going to be doing, the listening party that's going to happen after the album chat, we can stay here, but what we're going to be doing is really just kind of listening, listen offline, because we want to listen without being kicked off of Facebook and YouTube. So we'll figure that all out. It's going to be amazing. We're going to have a good time. And thank you so much for joining us. And we got people from all over the country. I see it's great to see all you fine folks. And I am very, very excited to have all of you on board. And it's going to be an amazing time tonight. And I tell you, ever since Prince's passing, as far as all of the Super Deluxe editions of things, I've gotten all the Super Deluxe. Every single one they've ever released, including the Prince piano and a microphone 1983. I got that one sitting over there, but you can't really see it. Right here, you can obviously see I got the Sign of the Times at Super Deluxe. It's over there. Right over on this side, you can see I've got the 1999 Super Deluxe set with CDs. I didn't get the vinyl version. I only got the CDs. And, of course, every single edition or Super Deluxe that they've come out with, I have managed to get. And so I'm really excited about this album. This album did not come without controversy, by the way. I totally understand the whole controversial part of everything that was going on, but that's the reality of this, is that there's a ton of controversy going on with this album. So we'll make sure that we talk about all those things. And so you can take in this visual right now because you're only going to have this whole big screen of me and all this funkiness in the background during right now and the unboxing. And then after that, I'm actually going to be small on this side of the screen, and we're going to be doing much more visuals. All right, so we start here in less than a minute. Everybody, I hope you're ready. This is going to be a lot of fun. And we're going to go to a little old school. Normally we have the music piping through the line here, but we're not doing that tonight just because we want to make sure that we can stay online for everybody. So that all being said, thank you guys joining for the pre-show. The show starts in 36 seconds. Everybody go ahead and get your drink. You know, I was going to make this a wine night, but unfortunately, for some reason, I don't know what happened, but I cannot find a bottle opener anywhere. So I've got a bottle of wine, but I can't open it. So therefore, I'm sure there's tons of tricks, but I don't have the time or patience for that stuff. So tonight, primarily because of keto, it is Powerade Zero. Powerade Zero sugar, which is not actually too bad. The purple one tastes like cough syrup, but the blue one's pretty good. All right, you guys ready? Let's do this. Yeah. Let's do this. Welcome, one and all. How is everybody doing? It's Mr. Christopher Funkatopia Radio Show. My goodness gracious, we got so much to do. So much information, so little time. I can't even, my head's exploding. There's so much information. There's so much stuff going on. I can't even, it's just too much. It's too much. It's just too much. Welcome, one and all. It's Mr. Christopher. Welcome to the Funkatopia Radio Show, a.k.a. Funkatopia Live, which we normally do on Tuesday nights. But tonight we decided that we were going to do things a little bit differently and that we are actually going to be, there's actually a lot of explaining to do and whatnot. And I just want to make sure that everybody is feeling good. We're going to make sure that our levels are good. I'm going to check out some of these levels. Yep, we're doing all right. So that all being said, welcome again to Funkatopia Live. Tonight is a big night. It is the release of Prince's Welcome to America album that happened today. A lot of people, you're seeing all types of reviews on people that are saying, well, I haven't gotten mine yet. I'm getting mine on Monday, or ordered it from the estate and I still don't have it. I don't have any notification I got it. It's like craziness. However, everybody that I've talked to so far that has said that they have ordered it through Amazon has gotten it, and it's been fantastic. And so what we are doing tonight, we are doing a couple of different things for Prince's Welcome to America. First, we are doing an unboxing, and the unboxing is going to be a lot of fun. I literally have the Amazon box right here. I'm going to open it in front of you guys, hopefully not damage it by opening it with scissors and whatnot. Anyways, so there's a visual component to this that is really, really important tonight, a visual component. You have to. So here's what I can tell you. If you are listening via the Funked Up app, tonight is going to be a very, very visually heavy scenario. However, once we get to the album chat part of it, I think the unboxing is probably only going to take max 30 minutes, I would say. But I'm going to try to be as descriptive as possible for you guys that are audio only. But here's what I can tell you. Come on over to youtube.com/Funkatopia. That's youtube.com/Funkatopia. That's Funkatopia. Or you can also go to Mixcloud, mixcloud.com/Funkatopia, or you can go to facebook.com/Funkatopia. So all three of those places are doing video right now. So you can take all of this in, and this is going to be a pretty visual night as far as the unboxing is concerned. But once we get to the album chat, it's a little bit different. While there is a good bit of visual components to this, YouTube and Facebook have this amazing thing where if they hear music, they want to kick you off. They want to kick you to the curb. They want to go ahead and stop the broadcast and kick you all off. So we had to go a little bit old school. And so you'll want to have the Funked Up app running. So if you don't have the Funked Up app yet, if you happen to be watching and if you don't have the Funked Up app yet, get it, download it, because you're going to be able to hear everything and you're going to be able to hear all the music, all of the songs in their pristine quality over the app. We cannot play the songs with the pristine quality over YouTube or Facebook because they'll kick us off, and we want you to enjoy it. So tune in for the video. on Facebook and YouTube. But when I start playing music, I start playing these individual pieces of songs, then you'll want to, turn that down and go over to the app. I know it's stupid, but I don't know what to tell you. Facebook and YouTube are absolutely positively ridiculous, and I don't know how to fight that beast, and nobody does. Even Tony Robbins said, I think I mentioned this before. I did a Tony Robbins meeting, and Tony was saying that they have the same thing. They had to actually hire somebody to actually create music, and they had to do all this extra music stuff because of the fact that they were getting kicked off. They had hundreds of thousands of people online, and Facebook was kicking them off because they were hearing clips. So we want to make sure that everybody enjoys themselves. But so there's your information. Download the Funked app so that you can listen to this show for the audio part of it, and for the video part of it, you're definitely going to stay tuned here, because as I go through the album chat, you're not really going to need the visual component on that for the album chat, but I do have visuals for the whole entire show, so you can actually tune in and enjoy some of that. It's going to be a lot of fun. All that being said, thank you again so much for joining us. Welcome to Funkatopia Live. My name is Mr. Christopher. I'm the host of this illustrious show. We don't normally do this on Friday night, but because this auspicious event with the release of Welcome to America and Prince's new album, I'm very, very excited. It's awesome. So the first thing that we're going to do tonight, again, this is a visual component, so we want to make sure that we take care of this visual component part of this, is we're going to do an unboxing. And I no joke, I got this probably maybe an hour before we did the show, an hour and a half before we started the show. So I was really happy to actually get it. And I'm doing an unboxing right now. So for those of you listening on the app, switch over to youtube.com/Funkatopia or Facebook, Funkatopia, and you can actually see what I'm unboxing. But I'll try to be, again, as descriptive as possible. So here it is. It's in a box. I did not even take it out yet, so I have not had it in my hands. I'm pretty excited. I actually have a really, really cool, amazing keychain type of Prince symbol here. I think this was used to be a keychain thing. I think really have a keychain. I'm going to use it to cut it open because why not? And so I'm cutting open the box, trying to be descriptive for our audio folks, and I'm opening it. Obviously, again, I hope the estate, and you know what was interesting? This is kind of interesting. So there's another box that's inside of this one. Now, here's what's interesting. Many of you remember the last Super Deluxe we had was a Sign of the Time Super Deluxe, which is absolutely incredible. And the packaging that they had on the Sign of the Time Super Deluxe actually had the peace symbol on the actual cardboard box that was around it. That is not the case with this particular one. I don't, it's just plain, which is perfectly fine. And so we're going to open it. We're going to open the tab. Oh, this is so exciting. It's like bringing a new baby into the world. All right, so we're opening it now. And all right, ladies and gentlemen, we'll throw the box to the side because that's not important. Here it is, the Welcome to America Deluxe Edition. That's pretty thick. As you can see on the spine there, it actually does say, it says, I'm talking about a peaceful revolution right there on the spine. On the other spine, obviously, it's just it says Prince and Welcome to America with the symbol on the side. And then, of course, on the back, it's quite detailed. On the back, it says, we made music way ahead of its time anyways. It's as fresh today as ever. And, of course, it's got the CD and LP Welcome to America track listing. And it's also got the information for the track listing for the Blu-ray on the back. And then, of course, all the, but there it is. That is the back right there. That is a very, very pretty awesome. It's, and of course, it's a great picture of Prince on the back. And of course, the front is the album cover that we've been seeing for a long time now, but it also has a sticker on it. Again, I'm trying to be overly descriptive for the people who are on audio only, but it does have some information here talking about what is in here, which is previously unreleased album on CD and 2 LP with special etched side, plus Blu-ray of complete live HD concert, 12 by 12, 32-page companion book. I'm trying to make sure that you guys can see it. companion book, and never before seen photos and songs and lyrics, detailed liner notes, embossed vellum envelope containing exclusive Welcome to America era. I can't read that word. What is that word? Ephemera. I'm going to make an idiot of myself, don't I? But there's all kinds of stuff that's in here, so we're going to check it out. We're going to open it up. I'm going to open it up. What is that word? EPHEREMA. What is that word? Somebody look it up. Oh my God. Somebody look it up. We'll figure it out. I'm sure it just basically means stuff. Stuff that is whatever. I'm trying to be as delicate as possible and not scratch anything. But okay, good. All right, so now we're going to be opening the plastic here on the actual album itself. Prince, Welcome to America. And man, oh man. All right, so taking the plastic off, and this is another one of those scenarios, very, very similar to what happened with Sign of the Times, where a lot of it, well, it was a little bit tricky because some of it was actually on the actual plastic. Luckily, this time around, when you take the plastic off, nothing comes off with the plastic, so you don't have to worry about keeping the plastic wrap. But when I took the plastic off, this back sleeve that we were seeing as the back cover is actually a separate piece of paper, which they actually did on Sign of the Times, but I've taken that and slid that inside so that it doesn't get lost. But here it is, and it is opened. And of course, when you open it, it is got a nice protective sleeve in here, a protective cotton, but when you open it up, here is basically what you see in the center. And it has got a lot of information on there. It says self-interest is on the back burner for now. There is too much at stake. The most important thing right now is to take advantage of the changing landscape of America. The long-standing monopoly of white ownership of black music should be abolished. It's a long, pretty long diatribe of sorts on essentially what this album is about, is talking about the injustice and equality, and a lot of it's in here. So when we open this up, we can obviously see that on the right-hand side, this is, oh my goodness. So this is actually very, very beautiful. When you open it up, it's actually got the vinyl stuff. I don't think I ever saw that picture over there. That picture is pretty friggin' awesome. Thank you, Violet. Violet says ephemera, or however you pronounce it, items of collectible memorabilia, typically written or printed ones that were originally expected to have only short-term usefulness or popularity. There you go. So so we'll start with this side here. That's got this beautiful photo over here. And I will actually pull this out. It's got some beautiful, so when you pull this out, it has actually got a vellum envelope that is inside. Oh, and look at that. It's got Prince, Welcome to America that is actually, I don't know if the light can catch this correct, so you can actually see that this vellum is embossed. So that's not just kind of on there. It's actually embossed. It actually has a, it's actually embossed. We'll look at that in a second, because I want to pull everything out of this. And the other thing that comes out of here is, I'll put this to the side. I don't know where to put everything. The other thing that comes out of here is a book, a large 12 by 12 book that has got tons of different photos in it and whatnot. It's got the lyrics for all the albums. I wish I would have had all the songs. We've seen a lot of this photos, but it's got tons of photos. I think on the advertisement that they did from the estate, it actually had it actually showcased a lot of these photos inside this booklet. But you actually get to see quite a bit of really beautiful photos that I believe most of these photos were taken by Randy St. Nicholas, same gentleman who actually did the photography work for, and I could be wrong, but I thought that I had read a good portion of that. I think there's probably a lot of different photographers that were probably part of this, but it's interesting. They've kind of got some pictures that in here of folks that maybe were part of the Welcome to America tour. Like, for instance, in the back here, you actually see pictures of all these individuals that were involved, including Rhonda. And this is actually the, this is not the band that actually played on the album, but man, this is beautiful. It's a 12 by 12 book. The back is actually really, really light. You can obviously see prints on the back. It's beautiful. It's beautiful, heavy cardstock, not cardstock paper, but just what you would expect to see on the tour side of things. And again, it's got lyrics on everything. Plus, on top of that, it actually has all the artists. You know what's interesting is that Prince played most of the music on the entire album, but when you look at the lyrics on here for the entire album, every single song has indicated everybody that was involved in the project, including, you see, John Blackwell on drums, Liv Warfield. So it actually shows some interesting input from some of the artists that were on there. I did not, somebody just said, were there any pictures of Tao? I did not see any pictures of Tao on the 12 by 12, but when we start talking, in the 12 by 12, there are no pictures of Tao in here. But when we start talking about the individual album, we're actually going to have some pictures of Tao. So let's talk about this vellum envelope. Again, this is embossed. You can actually hear it. It's actually embossed into the actual vellum envelope, which is beautiful. And we're going to open up this vellum envelope. We're going to take a look inside and see. Oh my gosh, there's a whole bunch of little stuff in here as well. First thing is, it's actually got a 12 by 12 poster. I guess it's quite a bit of a cardboard scenario, so it is pretty amazing. Randy St. Nicholas is a lady, not a man. Did I say sir? A man? I'm sorry. So yeah, so you've got this 12 by 12 photo, amazing. There's also, oh my gosh, there appears to be a massive poster here. Oh my gosh, this is a very, very big poster. Oh boy. I don't have any room. Have you guys seen my office? I don't have any room for anything. This is insane. Oh my gosh, this is a much bigger poster than I thought it was going to be. Holy cow. This is a Welcome to America poster. That's a pretty big poster. And I've got to figure out, for some reason, I don't know, maybe I just didn't pay attention to the dimensions, but that's a very, very big poster that's got Prince, Welcome to America. It actually has the lyrics to Welcome to America. That's on there as well. Let's see what else is inside of here. There's a bunch of other stuff inside of this vellum. That's it. It's inside here. Let's see what we got. We also have, let's see, backstage access card that's on here, plus another backstage pass access. This one says no backstage pass access, but this was a one night stand ticket to the actual show itself. There's an all access pass. So they basically given you all of the different passes that were available, working pass as well, all these different things that are pretty amazing. A small card. What is this? Oh, this one says, thank you for purchasing Welcome to America. Go to Where We Are Vinyl and enter the code below to claim your MP3 download of this album. You can claim your MP3 download with this. On the back, this gives you a code that you can do. And it also does a reproduction of a ticket. So all of this stuff is inside of there. Oh, there was also one thing that was kind of folded up. I'm going to look to see what this folded up thing is. We're going to take a look and see. It's pretty amazing. It's pretty incredible. Let's see what this is. Oh, it is a set list from the show. So this is a set list from LA, and it kind of gives you everything that they were doing. So pretty awesome. It's set list. Every single version of Backstage Passes, a replicate of the ticket. All these. That's pretty incredible. So that's quite a bit of information right there. That's a bunch of stuff. All right. So that was quite a bit in that little pocket. Now we go to the second pocket in the middle, this one right here, which I believe is the vinyl. So it is. It's the vinyl. This is vinyl number. Make sure there's nothing else hidden down here. So this is the vinyl that I'm pulling out of the middle. So this is the vinyl. We're going to check out the vinyl and whatnot. So this is one of the discs. So that is, I don't know if it's side one or side two, but oh, hey, that is damaged. It's damaged. I just pulled it out. Man, good thing I ain't reselling this. Man, it also is just some. Well, there's also some damage on the actual vinyl itself. See the damage right there, right over here. Look, there's damage on it. Hope it still plays okay. That kind of sucks. But yeah, so that's vinyl 1. That kind of sucks. So there's a little bit of damage on this particular one. I hope that yours is not damaged. It's okay. It's all right. It's okay. I'll be all right. I'm not going to freak out or anything. That kind of sucks, though. All right, so now we're going into side 2. Oh, my goodness. It just keeps on going. So over here, we'll go on this side first. Over here, we have the CD of Welcome to America. I'm going to fold this over for right now. We have the CD of Welcome to America that's right on this side. And we also have the Blu-ray. So you have the Los Angeles Forum Blu-ray that's in a cardboard insert that kind of, this is the band that actually played on the LA show. That's why it's like that. They didn't really talk about that. And then, of course, you've got the album, the CD for Welcome to America, which has also got some of the stuff on the back. So that's pretty awesome. That's very, very cool as well. So what's going to be in my car. So we got the last folder, which is, again, another pretty picture of Prince. Of course, are there any bad pictures of Prince? I don't think so. I don't think so. Miss D. Lee says, yeah, I hope it plays without skipping too. But I don't think they're going to do anything. But luckily, I have video proof. You guys saw me open this. You saw that I took care of everything and was trying to be as careful as possible. And that I pulled it out of the sleeve, and it was still bad right out of the gate. So luckily, there's video proof. And then lastly is the second CD of the second album, which is oh, this one is different. So this is the second one. This is an important one. This is the second album, the second vinyl in the mix. And this one is very, very different because it obviously, this side is apparently black. But if you open it, it's got a regular side. And then look at this on the back. Oh my gosh, that is on the vinyl. And I'm pretty positive that this does not play because there doesn't appear to be any grooves in that at all. So this is pretty much, but look at that. That's friggin' incredible. Look at that. That's insane. The Welcome to America all etched on, it's for those on the radio, we got a second side of this vinyl that is got Welcome to America all etched into the whole entire thing. So, wow. What an amazing package. So, and then of course you've got this side. So it's a 3-side album, and the 4th side is especially etched. So very, very cool. That's a lot of stuff. And they made sure this one was taken care of for sure. A lot of stuff. So there you have. That is it in its entirety. Now I'm going to have to be really, really careful. I might have to save the reboxing of this till after the show, but that is it. You just got done seeing everything that is in the everything that is in this amazing deluxe set. I mean, the quality of it, the way that everything, it's just incredible. It's just a beautiful, beautiful deluxe edition. I love how it says, you can't really see, you can barely see that it says Prince. Look at how the light is shining off of that. That is just hats off to the estate for putting this together. What an incredible, incredible package. 2 things of vinyl. I'm a little bit bummed out that my first vinyl was damaged, but luckily it wasn't the second vinyl that was damaged because that one appears to be pretty intense. But very, very amazing. Well, wow. I'm really, really impressed. I don't know if, hopefully you guys got yours and were able to go through it, but man, some of the highlights obviously are going to be that poster, that massive poster. I got to figure out, actually I know where it's going to be. I've already got a place for it. So we got a massive, massive poster. You got all of this stuff, this ephemera, is that what you call them? All that stuff with the backstage passes and the ticket replicate. and amazing photo book, which I'm looking forward to reading when I sit down. I wasn't going to sit and read it with you guys, but man, that is phenomenal. What an amazing, amazing deluxe edition of an album. That's, I mean, sometimes you pay money and you're like, nah, it's okay. Like the deluxe edition in 1999 was pretty good. I didn't really go see too much of the vinyl, but Sign of the Times was phenomenal, if only for the selection of music that was on it. But man, alive, there are so many things. If you're a collector, if you are a Prince collector, which obviously, why would you be here if you weren't? If you're a Prince collector, you absolutely positively need to get this deluxe edition, because wow, holy crap, wow, amazing, amazing. So that is the unboxing. We actually did. I'm so sorry for those of you who are on the app, because you didn't really get maybe the visual component of this. And my apologies. My apologies. There's so many people online. So let me go ahead and make sure that we totally discuss now. We're going to go into the album chat, because that's really what you guys are here for. Well, I guess you wanted to see some visual components and be able to see this unboxing, but now we are going to go into the album chat, and this is probably going to be my favorite part. For those of you who joined us a little bit late, let me go ahead and get that notation out of the way first. I am going to be talking about the history of this album. We're going to be talking about every single track on this album, including stories from the people that were there that helped create it. We're going to be talking about the people that played on it. We're going to be talking about the meanings behind every single one of these songs. We're going to be spending some serious time with this album. And then as we discuss each song, then we are going to be playing the song. However, because of the fact that we are on video here with Facebook and YouTube, because of the way their copyright and trademark stuff works, basically copyright, even though we are ASCAP licensed, they don't care. They kind of make their decisions after the fact. So we cannot play the full-blown straight-out music right here on the video portion of it. So please download the Funked Up app, or if you have the Funked Up app installed, that's FUNKEDUP, Funked Up. If you have the Funked Up app, go ahead and start it up now, because we're going to go into the album chat and we're going to talk about this album. And I'm going to be playing it lightly on the video thing. There's still a lot of visual components. I'm going to be sharing pictures of some of the people that are performing. I'm going to be sharing things. It's a very, very visual. It's the most visual album chat I have ever done. There literally are 80 photos that I'm going to be sharing with you. So we are going to be having some good times, and you're going to enjoy this for sure. However, if you want to really hear the music, if you haven't heard the album yet, if you haven't heard the music, download the Funked Up app and listen. You can hear this part. You can take in the visuals, and then when I start to play the music, then you can turn up the app and you can hear the music in its entirety without any issue. And it's that's the notation. So that all being said, I wish that I could play some really good high quality music here on the video, but Facebook and YouTube they're just insane. So Mixcloud folks, you guys are probably perfectly okay, but we're not doing this just on Mixcloud. So there's that. So let's get started, shall we? I got to make sure that we actually go through and share this screen the way that it's supposed to be shared. And let's do this. All right, I'm going to add this to the stream, which is going to be the big picture. We're going to make sure that we go full screen here, and then we're going to get into it. I hope you guys are ready. This is going to be so much fun. And again, we're back to small. I'm small in the corner. Again, I told you this is going to be so visual. It's going to be ridiculous how visual this thing is going to be. So that all being said, let's move on, shall we? It's Prince's newest album. Here it is, the Welcome to America album chat. This is probably the quickest I've ever done an album chat. The second that it's released, the day that it's released, doing an album chat, it's ridiculous. The amount of work and everything that I had to do in the process was insane. But we're going to be doing it right now. It's Prince's newest album. It's finally arrived. Welcome to America. It is the very first I'm trying this again. Blah, blah, blah. It's the very first full posthumous studio album of new material that Prince himself constructed. Now, so it is by far the closest thing to a brand new album that you can get. That's the reality of it. It is the closest thing that you're going to get to a brand new album. So I don't know what else to tell you outside of that. there's a lot of controversy on this album. So let's just go ahead and get that out of the way. There is tons of controversy on this album. I'll just keep reading. Tons of controversy on this album, and primarily because of the fact that, you know, everybody knows that when Prince puts together an album, there is normally a process that happens where there's different configurations that go through, and this just happened to be the final configuration that he had in place at the time. Everything else that has been released since his passing has been a collection of vaulted works. So it was just put together by individuals that were very simply not Prince. Welcome to America, however, was hand-picked tracks by Prince, and all recorded in that same window of time and put in order and constructed as an album that was ready to release in technically 2011. Most of it was recorded in 2010, but this album was, I guess, supposedly supposed to be released in 2011, but for some reason, it just sat there and it never saw a release. But as I said, the album does not come without controversy. A friend of Prince for over 30 years, Prince biographer Neil Carlin, many of you have seen this book, this thing called Life, Prince's Odyssey, On and Off the Record. He is the author of this book and a few others as well. But he said, he actually told Newsweek, he said, Prince definitely wouldn't want it out. Still, I don't think he'd be surprised. No matter how far out in the galaxy he seemed to operate, he always understood that the man had to be paid, but he didn't want it released. Sounds like a pretty specific type of comment there. He just said, didn't want it released. That was his comment. He said, for whatever reason, he didn't think it was worthy. This was apparently near ready to be released, though a lot of new work was put into it, as in it's a Prince album, but not a Prince album. According to him, it's all about, him being Carlin, it's all about Paisley Park trying to pare down a recently decreed debt to the IRS. Ouch. Okay? And it's funny that he said that, because while most of the artists that performed on the album wanted the album to be released, Morris Hayes, a good friend, been on the show many times, did at one point speak to Prince directly about the release and the delay. Morris Hayes told Rolling Stone, he said, I remember some years later, I texted him about the project. I told him I would like to settle that out financially. He said, well, we can talk about it when we put it out. He had been so generous to me that I didn't even trip about it. It was what it was. So there was a lot of people involved in this album from a financial standpoint. There were a lot of people involved. You have the estate, you've got all their staff, everything that's going on, everybody that puts together these beautiful deluxe packages, all this stuff that's going on. It's pretty friggin' amazing. But the problem is that, you know, people have to get paid. In this particular case, Morris even went to him and said, you know, look, I really would like to get paid for this project. And Prince said, just when it gets released, we'll deal with it then. So he just kind of left it alone. So let there be no doubt about this album, and it's not rocket science by a long shot. But the performers, it's just absolutely about money. By the performers, by Paisley Park, by the estate. Prince is no longer with us, but the reality of it is those bills absolutely positively keep on coming. That's just is what it is. But Neil Carlin, this is Neil, did try to backpedal while still standing by his statement. He said, it will be an excellent simulation of a Prince album, with worthy professionals, musicians, producers, marketing folks doing a very credible job at making a nice sounding record out of what Prince considered dross. D-R-O-S-S, maybe pronounced dross. I had not heard that word. That's two words that I had not heard before. So I looked up the definition of dross or dross, because for some reason I hadn't heard that term before. And it means something regarded as worthless or rubbish. So in Neil Carlin's opinion, he thought that Prince may have considered this album to be dross or dross. I don't know which it is. But to be clear, Carlin wasn't taking a swipe at people behind this album. That absolutely was not what was happening here. He said, the quite talented Morris Hayes produced the album, something Prince never allowed anyone else to do. Again, that's not necessarily true because we know that there was some work done by Joshua Welton on some of his later albums. So that all being said, Carlin said, so that anybody, even the talented Morris Hayes, would be listed as the producer of a Prince album? That was a question. Now, I'm sure it will be a very good album. It just won't be a Prince album. There is a reason he shelved it, and there is a reason he didn't play a single song from it in concert ever. Okay. We know that's not necessarily true. Let's just move on. We'll talk about this in a second. It would also serve as this album would also serve, this one we're talking about here, Welcome to America, would also serve as a follow-up to the album 2010. Both albums were very political and had a lot of, social connotations all through it, from the standard pool of topics that were really, near and dear to Prince's heart. Racism, technology, focusing on yourself for transformation, prayer, and just relying on God. Those are the types of things that Prince liked to focus on. These particular two albums should have been technically, joined at the hip. But this album was very, very different because it was a specific type of sound that it was kind of getting. But as far as the statement from Carlin about none of the songs being played live from this album, it's not true. As part of my research on this album, there actually are a few songs off of this album that did see the light of the day from the stage. We'll be talking about them as we go song by song. So you should be able to take Neil Carlin's insights on this album with a slight grain of salt, because there's some inaccuracies in some of the things that he's saying. God bless him. He's seems like a great guy. However, the reality of it is some of the things that he said just weren't true. Matter of fact, a title track of Welcome to America has two versions. I actually got ahead of myself. We got two versions that were actually played live in concert. There was the version that we've been hearing. It was the first release off of this album. There was that one. Plus, there was also a rockier version that kind of popped up in, I think, a couple of shows. And I'm going to play a little bit of that right now. Let me let you take a listen to this and tell me what you think. Remember, you should be listening on the app right now. My name is Prince. So this is Welcome to America, believe it or not. I don't know about you. Clap your hands, y'all. Show your neighbor what to do. So this is something that's a little bit different. It's a rockier version, totally removed from the other Welcome to America that we've all known and loved, that we've heard. I'll play a little bit more. Now, here's some more political statements. Some of this matches. Where you can get hired, fired, rehired, and get a $700 million tip. I ain't trying to be mean. Face-to-face contact now, got a screen in between. Wait a minute. Talking about technology again. To learn about race relations. If you're in the mood for drama, clap your hands. Between 911, Hurricane Katrina, floods in Alabama, the election of Barack Obama. Welcome to America. But anyways, that kind of gives you a little bit of a taste of the rockier version that exists that he played online. So it was very, very, again, it's it's tricky to say that none of the stuff was played live. There's some different versions that are happen to be floating out there and whatnot. But Prince actually takes that version, that rockier version that we just heard, a tad further, because if you actually heard the whole track, which some of you have and some of you haven't, but if you actually heard the whole track, Prince actually talks about the educational system, essentially proclaiming that school systems don't want you to know some of the historical truths, such as he just feels like the government is, as far as government schools, public schools, are trying to whitewash history. Don't want to talk about the 7 or 8 presidents that existed before George Washington. If you don't know what that means, go ahead and look that up. Just go to Google and search presidents before George Washington, and you'll see a lot of information that you never even knew. And even in the song Family Name, which we remember from Rainbow Children, he talks about the fact where he claimed that African Americans were indigenous to this country before Columbus arrived and ruined Thanksgiving Day. So this is not new. This is Prince at his most political, doing what he does. And Welcome to America as an album really kind of captures that. And that's kind of what we're here. But so as for the album, it was supposed to be released in conjunction with the Welcome to America tour, which you're looking at the poster, if you happen to be part of the visual part of this, which ran from December 2010 until May 2011. Now, that in itself was confusing to many people who actually knew about the album outside of the concert announcement. Morris Hayes said, "I thought it was kind of crazy that we did the Welcome to America tour and none of the songs were in the show. I thought this was weird. You don't have any of these songs on the tour, but it's named that." And the album was released in July 30th, 2021. It came in a few different configurations, including the deluxe edition that we just got done unboxing. But this is everything laid out for you. I wish that in this image here, I wish they would have flipped over that one album so that you could see some of the etching on the back of this one vinyl. That's pretty friggin' amazing. Just an incredible, incredible collection it's just an amazing collection. But the deluxe edition has tabletop book, vinyl CD, replications of the tour memorabilia like the ticket stubs and backstage pass, the set list, Blu-ray, the poster, everything that we showed you, which is amazing. That particular show that we're talking about, the one that came with this deluxe edition of the Blu-ray from the LA Forum, does not feature any of the songs on the album. We just heard a little bit of a clip from another version of Welcome to America, and there were some other ones that popped up in various shows. But the particular show on Blu-ray is very, very different that comes with this set. It features 24 songs, 15 of which are his biggest hits, like 1999, Let's Go Crazy, Kiss, etc. And the remaining 9 tracks, count them, 9 tracks, are all covers, which is shocking. Now, he wasn't a big fan of people covering his songs, but what's interesting here is that he's covering 9 different artists, including India Arie, Stargard, Janet Jackson, Larry Graham, Bob Dylan, Eddie Arnold, Wild Cherry, Kool and the Gang, Lakeside. And then the show even closed with a song called More Than This, which is a song by Brian Ferry and Roxy Music, which is very, very unusual. So as for the Welcome to America album itself, it also features 1 cover on it. So this album, even though it has only 12 songs on it, one of them is a cover by the band Soul Asylum, a song called Stand Up and Be Strong. It's written by Dave Pirner and Soul Asylum. And we spoke about all the work. If you've watched some of the previous shows, we know that there are, I think, 4 or 5 albums in the vault that Prince worked on with Dave Pirner, who is the third from the left in this photo. But there is Dave and Prince spent a lot of time in Minneapolis together, and they wrote literally 4 songs together, and 4 albums together. So, and they're all sitting in the vault, and who knows if they'll ever see the light of day, but they were essentially like jam sessions, but it's still cool. Anyways, the other thing too is that Morris Hayes actually had a discussion with Prince about the increasing number of covers that he was doing. So this was a discussion that kind of happened quite a bit. He said, "Prince, you say you don't want anybody to do your stuff, but we're doing 4 covers on this album." And he was referring to Emancipation at the time. He says, "That's kind of hypocritical, bro." He said, "We used to do a lot of covers at the after show gigs, and it just started creeping into the albums. And Prince told an interviewer in 2011, he said, "I am playing more and more old covers because I think people should know what beautiful music that America has produced, Marvin Gaye and stuff." As far as Welcome to America, this album is co-produced by Morris Hayes. And of course, on here, it's credited as Mr. Hayes. And Morris also played keyboards and percussion on some of the tracks, including the title track. Other artists include vocalist Shelby J, the beautiful Shelby J, who sang with Prince on various tours from 2006 to 2015. Many people got their first introduction to Shelby J when she and Prince walked out together at the BET Awards for his Lifetime Achievement Award. And everybody was like, who is this beautiful bald-headed black woman with Prince? Her name is Shelby J. And yes, she's been on this show a couple of times, and I love her dearly. She is a powerhouse. She is a force to be reckoned with. She's a force to be reckoned with. And then there is Elisa Fiorillo, who had been performing with Prince on his albums dating back to Graffiti Bridge. Many of you remember her from Love Machine. I've got the toys to turn your body out. Anyways, she was on Love Machine. She was the Love Machine girl. And she has joined him on and off for tours, including the Welcome to America tour and also the Montreux Jazz Festival show. So you see her kind of all over the place. And another beautiful woman that has been on this show, and she's been incredible. I can tell you a little bit. Here's a little bit of a rabbit hole. When she came on the show, she was. This is when Prince was still here, and she was promoting her album Reese and Deese, because Elisa Fiorillo's full name, married name, is Elisa Fiorillo Deese. And she was working with a guitarist, a young guitarist named Reese, and she was promoting an album called Reese and Deese. And what was happening is that she came on the show, and we did this long, like hour interview. It was great. We had a great time. And then I get off the line, and the audio doesn't work. So this whole entire hour interview that I did was toast. It was gone. It was just not there. And I was like, well, that happened and then did not happen. So that kind of sucked. And I texted her back and I said, thank you. We had an issue with the audio. I thank you for your time. I screwed up, blah, blah, blah. And she goes, do you want to do it again? And she called me back, and we did an hour and a half interview. And this time I absolutely made sure that the audio worked. So that was really, really cool that she came back on, and we went from an hour interview to an hour and a half, and she acted like nothing had happened. She didn't make reference to the screw up. So it was pretty awesome. So love Elisa, definitely love Lisa. Then there is the mighty Liv Warfield, born in Peoria, Illinois. She has also been on this show a couple of times, and she had put out her own self-released album called Embrace Me in 2006. And by 2009, Prince had absolutely positively taken notice. By 2014, she was a featured artist on VH1's You Ought to Know campaign. She had the release of her major label debut album, The Unexpected, that was executive produced by Prince. And then she performed on The Tonight Show with Jimmy Fallon, and then The Late Show with David Letterman, and the Arsenio Hall Show, and the 2014 Soul Train Music Awards, and nominations for 2 others. If that's not enough, there's tons of other things on Liv, but she also collaborated with Nancy Wilson from Heart in 2017, and they put together a band called Roadcase Royale, which is pretty friggin' amazing. So you have these 3 powerhouse women who are propping up the background vocals for Prince on this album that we're talking about tonight, Welcome to America. And together, as I said, they are a force to be reckoned with. If you guys have not had an opportunity to listen to Andrea Swenson's project that she's doing on the official podcast, I don't know why I used air quotes for that, but she's doing the official podcast, and they're actually they have a multiple part series that is going on right now where she kind of talks to everybody that was involved with the album. It's only on episode 2 of 4 right now, but you can definitely check those out. But on I want to say it was the first interview, the first episode of that interview, Elisa told Andrea, she said, the 3 of us together are a force. And I know that Prince could hear that and feel that when you listen to the album. You can hear it. We were his eyes, and he put us wherever he wanted us, and he knew. I think he understood that we can handle it. But I also know that he knew that we respect him so much and loved him so much that we were able to flow like water like that. We were always trusted, and so there's something to say for that, that you can walk into a studio with just having anybody there be like, okay, I know my girl's got it. So he's right. These three women right here are an absolute positive force to be reckoned with. You don't want to mess with them. They do the background vocals on this entire album, and it's pretty fantastic. So we're going to listen to all this music too. We're going to have a listening party after this is over, but we're not going to play each one of these songs individually as we talk about them. We're still talking about the main album. Now, on instrumentation, on bass, for a good bit of the album, is Tal Wilkenfeld, who is a 21-year-old actually, she was a 21-year-old bass master who had been playing with jazz legend Jeff Beck. That was 10 years ago, so what she's probably 31 now. John Blackwell gave Prince her number after seeing her with Jeff Beck, and when he called her on the phone, she said, Prince's first question wasn't, how are you? It was, do you like the drum rolls of Jack DeJohnette? And I was like, of course I do. And we became friends after that. For those non-jazz heads, Jack DeJohnette was a drummer for many legends, including Miles Davis, Herbie Hancock, Pat Metheny, and many others. So he had this amazing bass prodigy in Tal Wilkenfeld, and now he needed another piece. He needed drums. So for drums, Prince asked Tal Wilkenfeld to find a drummer for this trio project, as Prince was calling it at the time. And he was just going to put together this trio project, kind of a little bit similar to what he did with Third Eye Girl. It was going to be this trio project. And he said, he told Tal, he said, I want you to find me a drummer for this trio. I really want to put this trio together. And Tal told Rolling Stone, she said, as we were talking, he told me how much he loved Jimi Hendrix. So I think he started thinking in that direction of trio music. So Tal went about the process of trying to find a drummer. But she said, I wanted to audition drummers, but I didn't want to like psych them out. If you walk into an audition and you know it's an audition, you just don't quite play the same. So I called a few drummers up. Chris Coleman was one of them. And then there were also two other drummers as well. But Tal said, I just said, hey, do you want to get together and jam? And I thought, well, if they say no to me, then they're saying no to a great gig, but they don't know they're saying no to that. That was my test. So Chris Coleman got a call from Tal where she simply said to him, hey, do you want to come out and jam? And, just want to hang out? And Chris said, I was like, yeah, sure. No worries. And Chris had just finished touring as a drummer for the New Kids on the Block reunion tour. And so Chris comes out, jams while Tal was secretly recording the sessions, which he then sent to Prince along with those two or three other drummers. And Prince liked what he saw in Chris and brought Chris Coleman on board. And I would tell you to check out the official Prince podcast for a very funny story about Chris's first stop at Paisley Park that involves a new drum set, 777-9311, and a potential heart attack. I don't want to take any of the steam away from what Andrea is doing with the Prince podcast on these episodes. So check out the episodes. It's a really funny story about Chris, and I want you to check it out. Then finishing up the instrumentalist side of things is the legendary Morris Hayes, who not only did a lot of the production on the album, but he also played keyboards and some percussion. Now, once again, Morris has been on the show many times. We've spoken about Morris many times, and he was always a couple of things that he kept going back to every time we had him on the show. Whenever we would talk about what it was like to work for Prince, he was always concerned that he would be found out. He said he just simply didn't believe that he was good enough to even be in the presence of Prince or to be in the band. And for obvious reasons, Prince felt differently. Morris Hayes has been in NPG since 1992, and he had performed with Prince almost longer than anyone else has performed with Prince, for 9 years. That is 9 years to play with Prince. That's a year longer than the Revolution, who most of them capped out at 8 years. His tenure is only bested by trombonist Michael B. Nelson, who worked with Prince for 11 years. And then, of course, drummer Michael Bland, who clocked in 12 years. So let's talk about Back to the Album. 2 other tracks that were recorded for these sessions were Black Muse, which ended up on Hit and Run Phase 2, which you're looking at the album cover right now, and also Cause and Effect, which wasn't on any album, but was sent to the Currents radio station in Minnesota to play on their station. And then they also made that available as a download on lotusflower.com. Well, Lotus Flower with the E being a backwards 3, but it's now known. It's not known whether either of these songs were considered for Welcome to America, but they are in that same set of sessions for everything that we've been seeing. The album was completed and ready to go in 2010, even though it was going to be released in 2011, but it was ready to go in 2010 at the same time that the album 2010 was being given away for free in Europe. It's just, if you're watching the video, you can actually see a screenshot of the Daily Mirror that had the CD that was actually in it, and that's what it looked like. And that's pretty amazing. I mean, wouldn't you pick that up? You absolutely, if you weren't in Europe and you happen to go into a store and you happen to see this, absolutely, you would buy. No, you would pick it up. You'd pick it up. You absolutely would pick it up. But you want to talk about the timeliness of it. Many people, even though Welcome to America, we have it now in our hands. Many people didn't even believe that the album actually existed. Archivist Michael Howe said, "I wanted to see if it did exist." He had heard about the sessions and had been digging around for any sign of them. He said, "When I came across the disc, I saw it was an entity in and of itself. These sort of things are mind-blowingly awesome. It is sight unseen and unheard." So, unfortunately, or fortunately, it wasn't an afterthought. Morris Hayes told Rolling Stone that it was a very specific process that Prince went down and went through in compiling this album. He said, "I definitely think that it was meant to be this body of work. It's not a bunch of vault cuts that he was just messing with. This was a configuration that Prince had, and he had listed out in order, and this is the configuration of it. This is it." There is such a specific message about equality and activism here in the wholeness of this album that I'm pretty confident that had Prince been here during the George Floyd scenario and the trial, that this album would have found its way back to the forefront, because I think there was a lot of messages that were on this album that absolutely reflected, and it absolutely would have showcased all of his thoughts. And this would have just accentuated everything, because everything that should be said about the impact, around the impact that it had on society, was already documented here on this album for Welcome to America. When Shelby J was asked about how she felt about the album finally seeing the light of day after 11 years in the vault, she said, "It's really a time capsule, you know? It's like we did the stuff 10, 11 years ago, and hearing it for the first time is like going back in time. Remembering what we were doing on those specific days, meals that we would have, conversations that we would have, it brought all of those memories back." And what's shocking is that the band had no idea what the songs were. Tao Wilkenfeld said, "We didn't know the songs ahead of time. We didn't know the chords. We didn't know anything like the stuff that we did in rehearsal hall. The stuff they did in rehearsal hall had nothing to do with what we did in the studio." So basically, like in the studio, he would just say, "Okay, it's going to be this chord, then that. And then I'll point when it's ready, time for the next section." You say, "Okay, let's go roll the tape," and we start recording, not knowing where the song was going and what section was coming up next or anything. And he wasn't singing along. He would just occasionally get on the mic and say chorus or bridge and lose the snare or snare. Tal also said that most of the album was done in one take, which is even more astounding. She said he would only do something once or twice, like it was one take for most of this album, maybe a second take, but usually just one take. And he wasn't into doing punches. We were recording the tape. So like if there was a mistake, I mean, seldom there was a mistake, but if there was something that you wanted to maybe change or improve on, he would say no. So that was fun. She said, I learned a lot from that. I learned about just committing to what I was playing in the moment without any doubts because there wasn't a second chance. And I just learned that confidence, but like kinesthetically learned it. Not like because he said, we'll be confident. I just learned it from the experience of being on the edge and just not knowing what happens next. And I think he loved that. Drummer Chris Coleman also said that there were no vocals on the songs either. He said, we didn't hear vocals until the listening party. And when they heard, and what they heard at the listening party was very close to what you're about to hear right now, which brings us to the individual songs on Prince's album, Welcome to America, which is why we're here. So that is the background history of the album. So now we're going to talk about each one of the individual songs, and then we're going to play each one of the songs so that we can all listen together. And on top of that, I can also spend some time reading some of the comments that are going back and forth here and just spend some time with all of you. So that all being said, here it is. Welcome to America. The title track. It's the first song of the album. And this song was recorded, March 15th, 2010. Also recorded on this day were two other songs called Yes and Dance to the Higher, which I have not heard, but Yes is on this album. There is also a 7-inch gold vinyl version that actually the estate told me 4 days ago was being sent. I have not received it yet, or I would have showed it to you. Hopefully I'll get it and post it on Facebook for you so you can take a look. But there is also a 7-inch gold vinyl version of the song, complete with the song Dreamer on the flip side. And Welcome to America is Prince once again at his most political. Mass media institutions were the target of Prince's ire in this title song, and it always has been. He's always been at odds with record companies and music executives. He's always been that way. And in this title song, he doesn't hold back. He's claiming that news outlets are drowning people with misinformation to cover up their travesties, mass media information overload, followed by the announcement that the following message is brought to you by Viacom. That's said in the background. And this is obviously a very, very specific swipe at Viacom, who owns companies like CBS and MTV and BET and Paramount and Comedy Central. And you may remember the fiasco that happened not too long ago, maybe a year or two ago, not quite 2 years ago, with Viacom and Dave Chappelle, where they aired all the episodes of the Chappelle Show without paying him, while they had contractual right to actually do it. It was wrong on many levels, and they took advantage of Chappelle. And there are thousands of other artists just like Dave Chappelle that get taken advantage of all the time, all types of actors and performers, because Viacom doesn't only cover TV, they also cover radio as well. So they're all, anyways, while that specific issue with Dave Chappelle happened well after Prince's passing, Prince and Viacom had plenty of run-ins with them, taking liberties with his music and covering rumors from him about him just to kind of capture money instead of focusing on the music. Hence the statement, we snatch bass players, not purses. Prince also blames our gullibility for getting absorbed into our cell phones and getting distracted by the features of the iPhone. Not even paying attention to the fact that they can actively watch you whenever you want. They're tracking everything that you do through your cell phone. They're watching what you're doing. They're listening to what you're doing. You would think about things like Alexa, and you think about all those things that are going on right now. And I'm sorry if I just set off your Alexa app, but it's actively listening to you. It's waiting for you to say that word. And the only way that it can wait for you to say that word is if it listens the whole entire time, which is really kind of, I'm pretty confident that Prince never would have had an Alexa in his house. Even if it was, I don't know the timeline of that, if it was out when he was with us, but I'm pretty sure anyways, he doesn't stop there. Prince also railed against the companies that focus their energies on advertising in Black communities, advertising things like cigarettes and liquor companies, and the check cashing places and all, how they just take advantage of the communities, and how government turns around and is really, really quick to raise the taxes on all sin taxes or whatever they're calling this, and on those communities, on the people who are disenfranchised and are vulnerable. And while the CEOs of these companies and others seem to have a never-ending get-out-of-jail pass when they can literally have the freedom to bankrupt families and get hired, fired, rehired, and then get a $700 billion tip. One of the things that you may have noticed, I don't know if you did or not, but there is some backmasking that occurs in the middle of this song, about 2 minutes and 30 seconds in. And when you play it backwards, it says, clear the channel of Viacom, clear the channel of facts, clear the channel of sin. Here is that backmasking. I went ahead and played it backwards for you. Here it is, the backmasking that happens in the middle of Welcome to America. You can check this out. Clear the channel of Viacom, clear the channel of facts, clear the channel of sin. So that's what they say. That says, clear the channel of Viacom, clear the channel of facts, clear the channel of sin. That is what is said in that little section there. If that's not enough, he then takes aim at the educational, all in one song. He then takes aim at the educational system and a new plan that changes the Pledge of Allegiance, and also changes it from land of the free, home of the brave, to land of the free, home of the slave. And I can't help but think that there's also a swipe at celebrities with their sex tapes here. You have to imagine that specific people were in the front of his mind when he wrote the line, everybody and their mama has a sex tape, when you consider his personal distaste for individuals such as the Kardashians and Paris Hilton and whatnot. I won't leave that picture up too long. Much worse. Elisa Fiorillo says, Welcome to America is just a take on how he felt the world was and how much was wrong with it and how we could fix it and how we could hopefully change it in the future. Morris Hayes gave a little bit more insight into this title song that he discussed with Rolling Stone and what Prince had mentioned. He said he spread some stuff in that track talking about the iPhone and the iPad, really breaking it down about how government and people are watching you and all your devices that are permeating society. That's why he never had a phone. He didn't carry a wallet. He just shirked all that stuff, man. He would use my phone or someone else's. He would say, I'll use your phone, Morris. And he would memorize numbers and tell me what number to call. Who does that? I don't even know my dad's phone number because it's programmed into my phone. So that's the crutch we created. And I think he wanted to bring attention to how much we depend on these things, so much that they run us. He already knew where it was going. You can't separate people from their cell phones and all that crap. And he knew it was going to hit a nerve. He was saying, this is going to grab him right here. All in all, the fix to all the problems of the world boils down to the Bible, the good book. As he states in the song multiple times, there is no argument with the book, and that the transformation happens from deep within. Yes or no? The first time this song was ever played live, even though Neil Carlin said none of these songs have ever been played live, they have. The first time was December 18th, 2010 at Madison Square Garden in New York. And then the last time this song was played live, Welcome to America is what we're talking about, was July 25th, 2011 at Melkweg at the Max in Amsterdam, the Netherlands. And it was kind of interpolated with the Dreamer. And the people that are playing on the song, it's Prince on all vocals and instruments, Chris Coleman on drums, Tal Wilkenfeld on bass guitar, Morris Hayes on keyboards and percussion, Shelby J on vocals, Elisa Deese on vocals, and Liv Warfield on vocals. All of them on vocals. So here it is. We're finally here. We're playing the first track on the album. Sorry, you know, when you get to these album chats, we dig deep. We go way, 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 way deep. So here you go. The first track on this album, Welcome to America, the title track. As I said before, I'll be really clear. Please make sure that you're listening via the app so that you can hear the songs in their entirety without any interruption. And I'm not going to have to talk over it, but for the video folks, I do have to talk over it here. So that all being said, I'm going to talk with you guys here on the video side, but on the Funked Up app, enjoy. We're going to check out this song. Here it is, the title track, Welcome to America, right here on the Funkatopia radio show. Wow. Lots of talking. I'm making sure that they can't hear me on the actual console. I'm going to clap real quick. Yes, okay, good. They can't hear me on the radio. Anyways, yeah, this is, you guys have been talking so much. I am so happy that you guys are all here. This has been amazing. I'm going to have to scroll up and check out all your stuff. And I hope you guys are listening via the app and everything's good. Patricia goes, we are ready. I'm using 4 devices for this experience. Yeah, it is. It's definitely quite an undertaking to do it. If you guys think it's amazing, you should see what I've got going on. We have obviously the camera right here. I've got the notes over here, so I'm trying to make sure that I kind of keep eye contact. I've got notes over here. I've got a photo show over here. We've got recording that's happening over here from an audio standpoint. And I've also got the actual board that's running the radio show and everything else. Now, here's what I can tell you. The reason why I'm talking over the song right now is because of the fact that YouTube and Facebook will kick us off. So we're trying to keep this going. If you definitely want to hear the song and not me chatterboxing, please listen to the Funked Up app right now. Go ahead and start the Funked Up app and take a listen. But when we're done with the song, we'll come back on and we'll just cut it up. It's going to be amazing. I am so glad that all of you guys are here. This is amazing stuff. So much information on all the songs, and it's a lot of work. God bless folks like Andrea Swenson and all these reporters that are out there that have been doing this. John Bream, all these fantastic folks that have been doing it since the beginning of time. And it's a lot of work. So I hope you guys are having a good time. Let me see if I can catch up on some of Nikia goes, that was a brainful. Yes, it was. Absolutely positively was. Yes, Danielle said this plays at Madison Square Garden. Yeah, so actually the Madison Square Garden show was the one that was very, very similar to this that you're hearing on the it just is what it is. And the one they played in LA was the rocked out version. And after we're done with the this, we are actually going to go into it. And I'm actually going to play that rocked out version for you. For those who had never heard it, if that was the first time that you heard it, for those who are avid Funked Up listeners, you hear most of these songs. But I'm curious. I am curious about. Yeah, I see that Patricia says, as in my Samsung Smart TV. Yeah, your Smart TV does it too. It's insane. They actually had a court case against some of these people too, that they had to like do some type of updates to TVs because the TVs were listening to you. So it's just insane. It's incredible. I am curious for those who have listened to the album in its entirety, what you guys think. Do you feel this was probably the final configuration that Prince would have gone with? Do you feel like this is exactly where he was going to be? Kind of give me an idea of how you feel about this album and what you just what you think. We are going to be breaking this up, just so you know, because we are actually going into. This has been a little long broadcast, but I am going to be breaking out the unboxing of the deluxe edition separately, and then we're also going to be in the album chat. And then once we're done with this, we're going to be doing a listening party where we're going to be listening all together on the Funked Up app without me talking or anything. We're going to be listening to it in its entirety, song after song, and it's going to be amazing. So I'm looking forward to doing that with you, and I hope that you stick around. It's going to be, Nakia said I had to go to Target, so I'm going to listen late tonight. Yes. She just said, I think it's great. I agree. I think it's a really, really good. I think it's great. I think one of the benefits to this is that normally with the deluxe edition of these albums, there are a bunch of different songs that happen. So at least we don't have to worry about Spotify picking up stuff. But we've got 35 seconds before we're back on. 30 seconds before we're back on. We're going to go into the next song. Running Game, Son of a Slave Master, which is absolutely one of my favorite songs in this album. We're going to take it all in together. So let's get ready. And that was the title track to Welcome to America album, Welcome to America. If you're just joining us, you have missed quite a bit. We did an unboxing of this album, and for the deluxe edition, kind of went through all the stuff that comes with the deluxe edition. And now we're talking about the history of the album and every single one of the tracks. But you're not too late. We are just getting into the actual individual songs. We talked about a lot of the background history of the album itself, and then we talked about the history of that particular song. And that brings us to song number 2, which is a song called Running Game, Son of a Slave Master. This song was recorded March 12th, 2010, just a couple of days after the first one. And that's the same day as the song When She Comes and Born to Die, both of which made it onto this album. And Running Game, Son of a Slave Master continues Prince's attack on the record company exec. He likens it to the way that they sign artists and then how they take their creations and just at that point then bleed them dry as if it's a new form of slavery. We all remember, I can remember exactly where I was sitting when I heard that Prince was going to be on the David Letterman show, and I was like, oh, yes, it's going to be amazing. And I remember sitting in my house and watching Prince come on the show, and I saw that he had something written on his cheek. And I'll be honest, when I first saw it, I wasn't exactly sure what it was. I thought it said slay when I first saw it, but then I guess at some point in time during the broadcast, they did a closer up view of it because I guess a lot of people were wondering. Probably the producer was in the control room going, zoom in on his face. And then I saw that it actually said slave. And everybody remembers when he came on David Letterman, he had slave written on his cheek, and how he then talked about afterwards when people started asking about it in some of the media sources, they said, he just felt like that he was trapped in the contract that was squashing his creativity and giving him pennies on the dollar for his music. And even though at this point in 2010, when he was recording this album, he was free from that contract, it's obviously something that he will always feel very, very strongly about. But even though slavery was abolished at this point in our history, as far as the country is concerned, he's referring to these sons of the slave master who are still running game. Just record executives and I guess entertainment executives seem to be really the focus of his ire in this particular case. But he feels like a lot of the people that are behind the desk and some of these fat cats and whatever, I don't know why I said fat cats. I mean, it's not really old. I just aged myself by saying that. But he felt like they are taking advantage and really misappropriating Black culture. And one of the things that he says in one line in here is, how much do you want for that dope beat? They kind of, how producers are literally being paid very, very little to create these beats. And then the record company is taking these beats and, sticking amazing artists on them and making millions of dollars. And meanwhile, the producers, maybe made, 10 or 20,000 on it. And that's what producers do. But he really feels like artists in general are really being taken advantage of. Now, I'm also not sure, excuse me, I'm also not sure if he's speaking about someone specific here, but if you listen closely, Prince keeps saying she's still running game. You have to listen really close, maybe with headphones, but it caught my ear a couple of times when I was listening to this album in headphones, where he says, she still running game. She's still running game. Even Liv Warfield was not totally clear about the source of this song. She said, I would have liked to have known what sparked that. Clearly, there was something going on in his head. This song features Shelby J on lead vocals on this song here. Shelby said, he pushed my vocal way to lead on certain songs, like Son of the Slave Master. I remember sitting with him and going over that. All those lyrics, and he's got me singing the whole song. And then, you know, my vocals, my voice, that deep tenor, raspy kind of Mavisy voice, you could hear all throughout the record. So it's a real honor. It's a real honor. Of course, the Mavisy voice that she's speaking of, she's referring to the amazing Mavis Staples. Prince is pretty much on everything here except for lead vocals by Shelby J and some background vocals that you'll also hear from Elisa and Liv. Prince also has some lead vocal parts here as well, obviously. Shelby says at the end of the song, I need 2 drinks. Get them something too. The hustle is strong. So it's Prince on vocals and instruments, but also Shelby, Elisa, and Liv on those background vocals. Here it is, song number 2 on the album. See, we're going through quicker now. It's not as painful as it used to be. It's Running Game, Son of a Slave Master, right here on the Funkatopia radio show. This is the Welcome to America album chat. This is one of my favorite songs by far. This is such a fantastic album. Hope everybody, is anybody learning anything? You guys, I hope you are. I hope you guys are learning something because we've got a lot here. Yeah, Andre says he missed the unboxing. That's okay. We're gonna make sure we put it back up. Great studio album. Let's see what else we got going here. Yeah, you know, Nakia, you mentioned the Target edition of this. For those who don't know, the Target has an edition of this that is clear. It's clear vinyl. So I really want to get it. Obviously, was more interested in. I really wanted to get this one because the deluxe, but I know that I'm going to end up breaking down and going to Target and getting this clear vinyl just because that's the completest to me. For those who are watching the video and going, why is he talking over the music? It's because of Facebook and YouTube. So if you want to hear the music, please start the Funked Up app and listen via the Funked Up app because that's how we are getting around this. So you guys can listen to the music on the Funked Up app. And on the video part of it, I'm just talking over it all just so we can stay online for all you fine folks on Facebook and YouTube. And so far, we have not gotten any warnings. Nobody is slapping our hands yet. And it's just amazing. Thank you, Danielle. I greatly appreciate it. Danielle says, I always learn something listening to you, Mr. C. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Patricia, you are amazing. Thank you. You're so amazing. Andre says, turn down the music. Okay, I'll turn down the music. Yeah, I don't want to get where it gets too wonky. So I'll continue talking more. I have to take a little bit of a break. For those who are asking, I think I saw somebody somebody had mentioned asking about my keto journey, and I am still doing keto, just so you guys know. My loss has greatly diminished, but I have not cheated. I've been doing it for, gosh, it's been, I guess a month and a week or something like that. And it's been great. So whoever asked, thank you so much for asking. I know that was quite a while back that I saw it swing by. So thank you so much. This is an amazing album chat. We're going to have so great time about, oh, God bless America. I totally forgot to do this. Right now, it's 5:22 over in Arizona, over in Phoenix, Arizona. And at 6 p.m., there is, in Phoenix, Arizona, there is Grand Avenue Records. Grand Avenue Records is going to be having a listening party tonight at 6 p.m. And they're going to be doing, they're going to be listening to this album in its entirety, just like we're going to be doing after this album chat. And we're just kind of talking all the way through it. But Rob Rhythm, who is the co-host on this show, he's actually going to be there, and it's going to be amazing. It's going to be great. So if you have an opportunity if you happen to be in the Phoenix, Arizona area, I know there's some folks that said they were going to be there, and They told me to be quiet because they want to surprise Rob, but it's going to be a lot of fun. And they're giving a special Welcome to America enamel pin if you show up. That's in Phoenix, Arizona at Grand Avenue Records. So if you happen to be in that area, definitely make sure that you go out there and at least get that Welcome to America enamel. That will be amazing. So it's I can't wait. Hopefully he snags an extra pin for me. That's what I'm looking for. All right, I got 15 seconds out. I got to go back on. I hope you guys are maneuvering the app in this really quickly, and we seem to be beating the system, so that's good. And that was Running Game, Son of a Slave Master. And man, what a circus this is, kind of going back and forth, trying to make sure that everybody can hear me on the radio show and that we also don't get kicked off of Facebook and YouTube. So I have to talk a little bit over the music to kind of do this a little bit old school. But that was Running Game, Son of a Slave Master, which is one of my favorite tracks on this album for sure. So let's go. Let's move forward. Let's keep moving, keep moving. Now we get to go to the third song on the album, which is a song called Born to Die. And this song was inspired by Dr. Cornel West. Morris Hayes said that this reflects on the societal effects on Black community. Morris said that Morris kind of gave the story about how the song came about. First off, talking about just the generality of the song. When President Obama, this is actually a quote from Morris Hayes. He said, when President Obama was just a year into his term and Prince was reflecting deeply on the issues affecting the Black community and the role that he had hoped to play. So that was the generality of this song that kind of put Prince in this mode as far as how he wanted to kind of represent himself lyrically on this song. But back to the Cornel West comment, according to Morris Hayes, and confirmed by Prince as well, Morris Hayes said, we got to Born to Die, and Prince said, I'll tell you how that came about. He had been watching videos from his friend, Dr. Cornel West, on YouTube, and during one speech, Dr. West said, I love my brother Prince, but he's no Curtis Mayfield. So Prince said, oh, really? We will see. And he definitely was able to capture that vibe on this song, Born to Die. You can hear it all the way through. You can hear elements of Superfly and Pusherman and People Get Ready. You can hear that in this song. And with a little bit of dash of Marvin Gaye thrown in for good measure. This song was recorded in March of 2010, but Morris added extra production and overdubs into the mix in the summer of 2010. And the song was used as a single for this album, matter of fact, with artwork done by Randy St. Nicholas, and featuring Prince in a black outfit with a stark contrast blue feather in his hat that you're seeing here if you're watching the video portion of this. Same photographer that also did the 21 Nights photo book from London. She also shot that as well. And the song speaks directly about a woman who is a bad girl, and she's just living her life at 100 miles per hour and just thinks that life in general is kind of pointless, that the world has nothing to offer her, and she just kind of has to work with what she has. And it's a trip down a journey of just kind of going from one high to another high. And she's staying on the street, and she's prostituting, and she's, getting stoned. And when she's asked why, she just basically thinks that we're just put on this earth and we're all just simply just born to die. And the song closes with the girls setting the scene on a street corner where she had apparently died, or maybe she didn't die, but she apparently had fallen out of a window. Of course, she might be okay because one of them, I believe it's Liv. You can hear there's a dialogue going on between Elisa, Liv, and Shelby talking about, oh my God, she's falling out of a window. Oh, she fell. And then one of them says, they're putting her on the gurney right now. I hope she's okay. So you don't really get the full story of everything that's going on here, but you obviously get a really stark picture of a woman that is really struggling in the world, and she's having a very, very difficult time. And she apparently has fallen out of a window, or maybe she jumped. They don't know. We don't really get the whole clarity of this. Most likely she jumped, if you're kind of going by the theme of the story, for sure. It's Prince on vocals and guitar. That's kind of assumed. Chris Coleman on drums, Tal Wilkenfeld on bass guitar, Mr. Hayes on keyboards, strings, and percussion, Liv Warfield on backing vocals, and along with the ad-libs, and Shelby J doing backing vocals and ad-libs, and of course, Elisa Fiorillo-Deese on those background vocals as well. Here it is, the song that sent Prince straight into the recording studio so that he can prove to Dr. Cornel West that he can do Curtis Mayfield just as good as Curtis Mayfield. Here it is, the next song on the album, Born to Die. This is the Welcome to America album chat. Here it is, the next song. Enjoy. Man, it's a lot of fun. All right, let me capture. Yeah, that picture, Rashida, that picture with him with the feather in his cap, that's an amazing photo. I actually really love that photo. That photo is, I would not mind having a black t-shirt that's got that on it. That would be amazing. That would be incredible. And maybe they do have a t-shirt that's in here, but I love the contrast of that blue feather on that hat. It looks amazing. Yeah, it's a great. Yeah, and Cammy, how you doing, Cammy? Are you there? Are you there, Cammy? I'll check and see. But yes, some of these pictures I actually captured of 70s New York, because I kind of felt like I wanted to capture the vibe of what was going on in this story. So I wanted to make sure that it kind of helped along with everything. So yeah. Yeah, Rashida agrees with me that Rashida agrees with me that I'm sorry. I'm reading a bunch of things. It's like a bunch of things going on back and forth here. Anyways, so yeah, that whole photo is got to be a t-shirt. We have to get to the state. We have to tell them to make this a t-shirt. Absolutely have to. Patricia said, yes, that photo is everything. That picture is everything. Again, Cammy says, no, Cammy, Rob does not know. So, and I don't think you'd probably be able to recognize you unless you go up and introduce yourself. So let me know how that goes. We will be, I am going to let Rob know once we're on the last, because we're going to try to get live with him. Hopefully you're listening on the app and you're able to hear this music, because it is amazing. Be able to hear this music clear and crystal like this. It's fantastic. Yeah, Cammy, let me know how that goes. Adriana says, Mr. Curtis better than Curtis. Never dare him. Yes. But yeah, Andre, I've got to agree that that particular photo with him in black, with the blue feather, that would have been amazing. That would have been amazing, especially contrasted against the album. You know, contrasted against that black vinyl. That's pretty amazing. I am bummed out that my vinyl was damaged going into the system. I'm kind of annoyed about that. For those of you who missed the unboxing, when I opened it on video, when I opened up the vinyl, there was a gash in the actual vinyl, and it actually put a scratch on the actual vinyl itself. So I'm really kind of bummed about it. I think I am going to reach out to Amazon and tell them that I need a replacement because it was damaged. And I have video proof that I unboxed it right here. I unboxed it on the show, so it wasn't like I did it. So I have proof and witnesses. So that's cool. I'll make sure that I actually, I don't think that I can send it back, but I'm going to exchange it. Trust me. How much time we got? We got 49 seconds before I got to get back on. I hope everybody can at least hear the music a little bit on this. I am also recording extra audio here on this mic, on the blue mic, so that I can take this audio from this and put it over that. So, because I don't think this audio is fantastic, maybe because there's a lot of distance between me and the actual camera. So I don't think that that audio is going to be great. So I'm kind of doing this. I'm trying to keep an eye on my email and on my messages to kind of make sure that I'm not getting any error messages or oh, we got it. Hold on. Sorry. We're going back on. I'll talk about it in a second. And that was Born to Die, the third track on the album. And you were listening to Welcome to America, the album chat. We're going over Prince's album that was released today. This is the first time I have ever done this, where I have done an album chat on the day that an album was released. And if you were part of the unboxing and part of the album chat so far, you can probably see why it's taken so much time to go through the process of doing this album chat. But it's amazing. It's good. It's all good stuff. All good stuff. But we're back. We're back to the video. So we're going to go on to the next song. The next song is called 1,000 Light Years From Here. And 1,000 Light Years From Here was technically previously released on Hit and Run Phase 2. But it was not listed, excuse me, it was not listed on the album. So if you're not watching the track listing of the album, you may not realize that 1,000 Light Years From Here on that album is actually a coda at 3 minutes and 5 seconds on the song Black Muse. So if you're listening to Black Muse, the two songs are actually meshed together. So Black Muse ends, and then you've got 1,000 Light Years From Here that's tacked on the end. But again, the title is not displayed on the back of the album, separated from Black Muse. And on that combo, as I just mentioned, the song is 3 minutes and 5 seconds added on to, for those of you who are looking at the picture and going, who's that? That's Demaria. She was actually the inspiration for the song Black Muse, which is why she's up there right now. But again, 1,000 Light Years From Here on the back of Black Muse is 3 minutes and 5 seconds. But on this album, it's about 5 minutes and 45 seconds. So there's quite a bit more song here than the previous one that was released. This was another song that was recorded in March of 2010. There was actually another song that was done at this time called Wood, W-U-D. I don't know if anybody's ever heard of this song or if any collectors out there have it, but it was called Wood. It was recorded same day, W-U-D. Don't know anything about it. Tried to find it out there. I couldn't find it. But it was done at the same time along with Black Muse and this song. And it's not known if either song was ever paired up with that other track. And it's assumed that the band members on this track are the same from Black Muse. And I believe that they are, because when I was looking over the book from Deluxe, for those who missed the unboxing, on the inside of the Deluxe edition, it actually has all of the lyrics for all the songs. And it lists the artist. And I saw Blackwell's name, and it was on this song. So this song is a little bit different instrumentalist-wise than the rest of the album. On this particular song, it's Prince on all vocals and instruments except for John Blackwell on drums, Michael B. Nelson on trombone, Steve Strand on trumpet, Dave Jensen on trumpet, Kenny Holman on tenor sax and flute, Kathy Jensen on baritone sax and clarinet, and of course you've got Shelby J, Liv Warfield, and Elisa Deese on those background vocals, and that's assumed. And the song is much thinner in instrumentation than the Black Muse infused version. So you kind of got to make an assumption here, because I think that the 1,000 Light Years From Here that we're hearing on, that's attached to Black Muse on Hit and Run Phase 2, I think the band lineup that I just read is the one on that. But on this one, I just don't see it. It does not sound the same. It's definitely a much slimmed down version. And this is a song that speaks about America and how we are a country of freedom and innovation, and that we should be able to accommodate everyone regardless of their skin color. Every child having the opportunity for a good education and essentially, opportunities for everyone. And Prince did speak quite a bit on the Harlem Renaissance and Black Wall Street publicly. In an interview with Ebony in 2010, he said, "The most important thing right now is to take advantage of the changing landscape of America. The long-standing monopoly of white ownership of Black music should be abolished. We need to get back to localized music distribution on all levels. In a world that's fast headed towards globalization, we need to free the art from the gatekeepers that all see Black culture as monochromatic. We come in all colors, and it should be reflected that way everywhere around the globe. We were and still are very beautiful and industrious people." He said, "Anybody remember the Harlem Renaissance? Google it. How about Black Wall Street? This has less to do about skin color than it does when it comes to equal opportunity and freedom. Diversity in ownership should rule the day. It should be demanded from America's new administration. This repairing our primary focus. All other human experiments have failed. It was not suggested to us to love one another. It was commanded of us through Scripture. God's way is best. No longer should we build houses and not occupy them." Now, this is one of 3 songs on the album that, if you listen to the lyrics, this is one of 3 songs on the album that ask the listener to focus inward and transform themselves from the inside out. Stop listening to what other people say and focus on changing you. Stop looking in the mirror. Stop paying any attention or any mind to the critics. Just close your eyes and focus on you. That is definitely one of the core messages of this album. Not just the equality, not just more diversity, not just ownership, but transformation from within. It's mentioned 3 or 4 times on this album lyrically. So you need to pay attention to that. That is the core of this. So the song reflects on where that's at and where we are now, which seems 1,000 light years away. This song was originally called From Here, and obviously expanded on this album produced by Morris Hayes. It's Prince and the Girls. Here it is, 1,000 Light Years From Here. The next song on this album, you are listening to the Welcome to America album chat from Prince, which came out today. And here is the next song on the album, 1,000 Light Years From Here, right here on the Funkatopia radio show. Welcome. All right. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm reading all your comments, trying to make sure that again, I got to keep talking, because if I don't keep talking, then Facebook is going to start having an issue. Yeah, no, I talked with everybody. Nobody, all of the hardcore collectors and people that really super dig deep. I even reached out to Questlove, because Questlove is a hardcore collector. We were talking. He has spent tens of thousands of dollars on actually purchasing bootlegs, and he admittedly talks about how he purchases bootlegs, and there's plenty of talk about that, and it's insane. It's just insane. Veronica, I don't know what this means. I'm a summer baby as well, and you were born in the summer and you don't like summer. Yeah, I know a lot of people like that. Anyways, let me read some. Yeah, so there's a lot that you probably said amen to. Everything he said could have been written today, Adriana. Yes, I totally agree. There's so many things that I tried to do. One of the things I tried to do when I was doing the research for this album, and I was trying to find out a lot about Black Wall Street and a lot about the Harlem Renaissance and everything that happened there. There's so much history Prince always was railing on that ask your teachers about all the presidents, the 7 or 8 presidents that were president before George Washington, and why they decided not to. I don't know necessarily why he keeps referring to that. Matter of fact, on that rockier version of Welcome to America, he does address that again. He does talk about that again. And I'm not sure why that particular historical point is such a sticking point for Prince. He keeps bringing it up about how, ask them about the presidents before George Washington, and then we'll see. I'm really kind of curious why that's such a sticking point for them, because it's not like any of those presidents. I think the point of it is that what you're being taught in some of the public schools is not accurate. There's a lot of things so many inaccuracies. And in a lot of cases, they are trying to whitewash everything. I know that kids are really, really susceptible to kind of being guided down certain paths, especially when it comes to things like Christopher Columbus and the discovery of America. And, they kind of just glaze over the fact that, there were African Americans that were already here, that were already indigenous. There were American Indians that were already here, that were indigenous, and everything that happened to kind of squash down some of the violence that happened in that period of time. And I think, that's one of the things that really stuck in the craw of Prince was, teach history the way that it's supposed to, the way that it actually happened. Be real. Talk about the injustices that happened. Go more in depth about slavery and what happened during that period of time and the Jim Crow era. Just talk about all those things and just be forward. Kids can handle it. And I think they wait, and rightfully so, they wait until the junior high school and high school to kind of teach them some of those things to make sure they can handle it and that they don't get, but I think it's important to make sure that you are telling kids the truth. Kids need to know the truth. It's just, it is what it is. Anyways, just tell the truth. Right. Just plainly tell the truth. And it is what it is. Granted, there was a lot of population and everything that was going on, but it is what it is, and it's it's amazing. I guess I didn't turn off the mute on my thing here, so I'm gonna have to try to mute it. But anyways, I hope everybody is enjoying the album chat. I didn't realize that we're going to sit and buzz. I got one buzz that's happening over here, and I don't know what that is. I'll eventually try to figure it out once I disassemble this whole entire system. And I hope everybody is able to navigate this whole scenario where you're listening to the music on the app without me talking over it. For those that are just joining us, I'm having to talk over the app because if not, Facebook and YouTube will kill us and take us off. And I want everybody to enjoy this on Facebook and YouTube and Mixcloud. And it's going to be amazing. We're going to break all this stuff apart. But we got 15 seconds. And, 1,000 Light Years from Here is an amazing song. I wish we could just sit and just listen together and just kind of absorb it. But that's not how it's working. Thank you, YouTube, for that. And that was 1,000 Light Years from Here. That was the next song on Welcome to America on this album chat. On the release day of Prince's album, Welcome to America, produced by Prince and also Morris Hayes. And we're getting to take it in track by track. And then after we're done, we're actually going to listen to it all together in just one glorious listening party. And we're going to do it offline, though, off video. For those of you who are listening via or watching via video and then listening on the app, thank you so much. It's great because you can actually hear the music without me yammering over it. For those enjoying the video, I've got lots of photos that I'm sharing, and I hope you guys are enjoying that as well. It's a lot of fun. Anyways, yes, buzz, Andre. Yes, buzz. Facebook will kill us. Yes. Anyways, let's talk about the next. All right, so let's talk about the next song on this, which was the last single that they released off of this album, which is Hot Summer. They actually released 3 songs off of this album so far. The title track, Welcome to America, Born to Die, and this song, Hot Summer, just came out, I guess, a few days ago. Hopefully I'm not putting a date stamp now on this album chat, but that's kind of what's going on here. But this song is called Hot Summer. Hot Summer was premiered on the Minnesota Public Radio station 89.3, better known as The Current, and on their website on June 7th, 2010. That was Prince's 52nd birthday, and that was prior to the album's intended release. And it's the third track, as I mentioned, the third track to be released from this album. And it features Liv Warfield on that hook. Oh, hot summer. Yes, it's Liv Warfield doing that. Shelby said the song completely reminds her of summer in the most positive way. She said, you know, it makes me feel like we're all at the beach doing the twist. You know, that's just what I feel like we are in watching a Net Funicello movie. And, you know, the beach movies I like, we all be throwing beach balls and doing the twist. That's just what I feel when I hear this song. So I say it's going to be a hot purple summer. That's what I said. And then, of course, Elisa Fiorillo also remembers going down to the lake when the song was finished. And she said, it's this kind of weird 80s dance song. It was summer when we did it. We got in the car and drove downtown to Minneapolis in his car with the windows rolled down. We were listening on full blast with our heads bobbing at the same time. And there were people on the street. And we're saying to Prince, oh my God, they're going to know it's you. And some people could see and pointed as we drove right past. Like, I think that was Prince. And this song is the light track of the album. It really doesn't really have a whole bunch of different things going on. It's kind of trying to figure out exactly how to say this. It's the song is more like it's the bopper of the thing, and it's got you know when you think about good company and good friends and putting away your bad vibes. And putting down the convertible top and just blasting out this happy ditty. It's almost like the song was intentionally created to be the soundtrack for some bright and colorful commercial or something. Morris Hayes commented on the song and said, Prince would always talk to me about keys. He'd say, there's too much music in minor keys. There should be a lot more songs in major keys. And Hot Summer is a major key song. It was definitely a tip of the hat to Sly and the Family Stone. We all loved Hot Fun in the Summertime. Unlike the other songs on this album, with exception to the title track, this song did see some life in the live shows. The first time was July 5th, 2010 at Waldbühne, Berlin, Germany, as a coda in When You Were Mine. And the last time was July 10th, 2010 at Festival Park Werchter in Werchter, Belgium. It's Prince on all vocals and instruments, except where noted, Chris Coleman on drums, Tal Wilkenfeld on bass, and Liv Warfield on co-lead vocals. So without further ado, here it is, the song Hot Summer, the next track on the station. Here, Welcome to America, album chat, the next track of the album. Here we go, right here on the Funkatopia radio show. Sorry, I got a little flustered there, but it looks to me like a bunch of people just got booted off of either Facebook or YouTube. I'm not exactly sure. I'm looking to see exactly when this happened. It looks like Facebook. It looks like Facebook has kicked us off. I don't see any official notifications yet, but I am going to assume that it happened, that Facebook knocked a bunch of people off. And if they did, then please head over to YouTube, youtube.com/Funkatopia. Again, youtube.com/Funkatopia. I guess YouTube is being a little less heavy-handed about this. So I am so sorry if you are on Facebook and you got kicked off. Please head over to YouTube. Again, youtube.com/Funkatopia. Or you can go to Mixcloud. Mixcloud will not kick you off. Mixcloud.com/Funkatopia. Funkatopia. So I hope that everybody will start gathering. And this is one of the problems that we're trying to get around, and it's just been an absolute nightmare. So as you probably can tell, as I was reading the information for that track, I was getting a little flustered because I was watching I was watching tons of people all of a sudden go pop, 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 and then they were down to like barely any. So much love to you folks on YouTube. You withstood the first wave. We made it through half the album pretty much, roughly half the album. I think this is track number 5. And Facebook people did not. So I hope everybody keeps joining. Come on through. Come over to youtube.com/Funkatopia or mixcloud.com/Funkatopia. Mixcloud, you will not be cut off. But for yeah, thank you guys. I see you guys coming. I see you guys coming on. But yeah, Facebook is a nightmare. Yes, Missy said we survived the first reaping. Yeah, this is one of the problems that we experience with Facebook. Is that if they hear music, and in this particular case, that's the reason why I got to play this music down a little bit lower, because if I don't talk over it a good bit, then they just say, hey, you're playing copyrighted music, and they just squash it. YouTube is a little less of a pain. YouTube's a little less of a pain, but for whatever reason, you know, I still see that there are tons of people that are on the app itself. So that's awesome. I see a lot of people on the app. When we get out of this song, I will, ends in 38 seconds. I'll make sure that I address this since some people are listening we're listening on Facebook, and now we're kind of in a whole different realm. So anyways, this is, I'm telling you, this is what happens. Facebook does not like us. Facebook and I are not friends. But again, mixcloud.com/Funkatopia. You will not have to worry about anything there. But YouTube, I'm waiting for the reaping on YouTube. But here we go. We got 7 seconds. We're back on. Here we go. And that was Hot Summer. And a little bit of announcement here. We wanted to make sure that we told everybody that was on Facebook. It happened. Facebook has kicked us off because they heard the music playing in the background, and they went ahead and kicked us off. So if you were listening via Facebook, you are officially kicked off. So I apologize. That's probably why I sounded a little bit flustered when I was reading the Hot Summer, because I'm trying to pay attention and read all the notes. But at the same time, I'm also watching the numbers go pow, 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 down to nothing. So I realize that Facebook has now kicked off people. I think the video may be still running on Facebook, but you can't comment and it's not showing you as present. But YouTube is still active. So you can go to youtube.com/Funkatopia. That's youtube.com/Funkatopia, Funkatopia. You can also watch live on Mixcloud. Mixcloud.com/Funkatopia. You can also watch on Mixcloud as well. And there is a Mixcloud you will not be kicked off on. So if you want to be in a place where you know you're not going to get kicked off, Mixcloud's definitely the place to go. Mixcloud does not kick you off. They just simply pay the fees to the artist, which is done through us, obviously. But mixcloud.com/Funkatopia, Funkatopia. Sorry about that to the Facebook folks, and hopefully we'll see those numbers start crawling back up as you join us either on YouTube or join us on Mixcloud. Either one, it's, you know, Mixcloud is they can't, because we do this through StreamYard. Mixcloud comments and stuff had to be done in an extra screen, so now I have another screen. Anyways, it's just is what it is. But yeah, so people can still see the broadcast, but they can't comment on Facebook. So as long as we kind of keep it down low, I think we're going to be okay. And they won't completely kick us off. And there's that. So anyways, that was Hot Summer, which brings us to song number 6, which means we're in the middle of the album now, which brings us this song, Stand Up and Be Strong. This is the one cover song on this album called Stand Up and Be Strong, like I've already said a couple times, that was written by Dave Pirner and Soul Asylum. And we've spoken at length regarding the 4 albums that are in the vault, that are albums that were done by Prince and Dave Pirner that still sit in the vault. There's 4 of them, or maybe 5, but Dave Pirner from Soul Asylum and Prince worked together quite a bit. And it's not surprising that there is going to be some musical shakeout from that relationship. And the song starts with Elisa Fiorillo-Dees, and she wasn't even aware that it was a cover song when she performed it. She said, I didn't even know at the time. It's like such a pop song, you know, compared to the other stuff that we had been working on. And the song for Soul Asylum, from Soul Asylum, is actually a tad rockier than the poppy version that she's referring to that Prince has given us here. If you want a little bit of a taste of what Soul Asylum's version of this song sounds like, then let me see if I might actually have this here that I can share this with you and play a little bit of this track here and let you kind of take a listen to it. Yeah, I do have it. I have it right here. Let's play the track from Stand Up and Be Strong. This is a little taste of Soul Asylum's version. Here, check this out. It's definitely a little bit different. Definitely much different than the pop version that we're hearing here. So this is Dave Pirner and Soul Asylum, which many people don't know, but Michael Bland was a member of Soul Asylum, and we'll talk about that a little bit. But I just wanted to kind of give you a little bit of a taste, a taste of that song. So that's a little taste of that song right there. That's Soul Asylum's version of Stand Up and Be Strong, and this one is definitely a tad different because it's Prince, so he's not going to be doing. I think if he played this in concert, it probably would sound a lot like Soul Asylum's version. But that song is off of their album called The Silver Lining. Michael Howe, who is a Prince archivist, said that a version of this song was actually recorded in 2007 that feature Sonny T and also Michael Bland, who were playing with Soul Asylum on the original album that featured the song, which if you're watching the video, you're seeing a picture of them here. The song was also played for a small group of people during an on-site interview for staff at Ebony Magazine in 2010. And of course, the version here on Welcome to America is definitely different with a different band lineup. Elisa Fiorillo didn't really feel like this song sounded completed. She said, I don't think, this was something that she had said to Rolling Stone. She said, I don't think he was done with that one. It doesn't sound finished to me. He definitely would have come back and added something to it because to me, it's a little empty production-wise. But yet, this is another song that targets people who are stuck in depression, who are sick and tired of life and just want to give up. And he also focuses specifically on people in Beverly Hills and people that take too many pills, and simply tells them, stand up and be strong. It won't take long, and that bad times always, always go away. Don't give up. There is actually a quote from a theologian named John Piper. I don't know if any of you are familiar with John Piper. But, you know, when things are kind of going like really awry in your life and things are just a mess, you got to understand that there's always a reasoning for everything that's going on in your life, and that God is always kind of doing something, and there's a reasoning for it, and it may be horrible at the time, and there may, you know, this, you're always going to have those people that say, why would he do this and why would he do that? There's a reasoning for everything, and I get it. I get why people can be frustrated, but John Piper, who's a theologian, said, God is always doing 10,000 things in your life, and you may only be aware of 3 of them. I like that quote. I'll say it again. God is always doing 10,000 things in your life, and you may only be aware of 3 of them. That's kind of what this song is about, is just take heart. It's not whatever is going on in your life right now. Just it's a season. You'll come out the other side, stand up and be strong. That's the title of the song. Here it is. The next track on this amazing album, Welcome to America by Prince. It's Stand Up and Be Strong. This is Prince's version, not Soul Asylum's, right here on the Funkatopia radio show. So, yeah, I'm so glad that everybody is able to kind of recoup and come onto Facebook here. I mean, come onto YouTube here. Not Facebook. Anyways, yeah, so it's amazing, all the different people here. I'm trying to go through your comments and make sure that I'm talking over everything. And of course, this is Elisa singing this song. So it's definitely different when you hear solo sound. We hear Dave sing it with solo sound. It's completely different. But yes, it is true. God's always doing something in your life, and you simply just not aware of what that is. And it is what it is. Stacy, good comment. Say thank you to him for the future blessing caused by the present pain. That's a good statement. Thank you, Stacy. Thank you for that. Caroline said, are we able to hear more of the songs here? Caroline, what you need to do is you need to listen via the Funked Up app. So download the Funked Up app and you can hear these songs without me chattering over it, without me playing it low. But the reason why we have to play the song so low and you can't really hear good portions of it is strictly because of what just happened on Facebook. They heard some of the copyrighted music and they just nixed the whole entire thing and have dropped everybody. So you can still watch it live, but you cannot but you can't hear the songs in their entirety. So that's the reason why the Funked Up app is so important, is because it actually helps you to hear everything that I'm saying, minus what I'm saying right here while the song is playing, and also be able to hear the songs clearly and crisp, like a tortilla, crisp. Anyways, hope you guys are having a good time. Listen, I wanted to make an announcement while we're sitting here. Yeah, Caroline said I was not sure if they would do that on YouTube as well. Yeah, they actually will if we're really heavy-handed. Like if I start playing the music loud and I stop talking for 20 seconds while the music is playing with nobody talking over it, YouTube will definitely catch on. YouTube is a little bit slower to catch on to this thing, so I might be able to get through this whole entire broadcast without being kicked off of YouTube. But I can tell you that if you go to Mixcloud, mixcloud.com/Funkatopia, Mixcloud actually is fantastic. You can watch the video, and on top of that, you can comment like you're doing right here. And on top of that, you're yeah. So yeah, Facebook is a pain in the butt. Anyways, yeah, so Mixcloud is awesome because they actually understand that you play music. Actually, Mixcloud is really popular among the DJ community because a lot of DJs will do their DJ sets, and they'll do it on Mixcloud, and people can actually come in and they can donate and they can do a bunch of different things, and they actually pay the artist licensing fees, which we pay through the licensing fees to Mixcloud. So I would love to be able to move to Mixcloud, but what a nightmare. Yeah, I'm so glad that you guys got to see the unboxing. We are actually going to be doing some more. I'm going to be taking the unboxing part of the video, and we're going to be creating an unboxing section, which is going to be amazing. So you'll be able to watch the unboxing detached from this album chat, and then we'll also take the album chat and we'll do that too. A lot of people asked me about the album chat and wanted to know if I had ever considered doing album chats and separating out each song. And I'm like, I don't know that I've ever thought about doing that. I don't know if that's going to be a better thing or not. And on top of that, though, I don't know that YouTube's going to have any patience for me to do these album chats anyways. So I can tell you that we'll post things on Mixcloud in its entirety. And of course, anything that we can do video-wise to send to our Patreon supporters, we're doing that as well. So it's pretty amazing. Got 43 seconds before we got to come back on to go to the next song, which is a big fan favorite from the people that performed on the album. It's a song called Check the Record. And I don't know if you guys have heard that song yet. That's not... yeah, the guitars and keyboards in this are pretty good. Andre, you're right on that. 20 seconds we got here. Stacey says, have we already discussed last night's radio simulcast of Prince's Welcome to America show? No, we haven't. I didn't. I think I heard about that. But hold on a second. And that was Stand Up and Be Strong. The next album. I'm sorry, the next song on this album, and it's "Welcome to America." Welcome to Welcome to America. It sounded like I was stuttering there. I wasn't. Welcome to America album chat. It's Prince's new album that just came out today, July 30th. I hate to timestamp things, but I think it's awesome to state the fact that we're doing this live right here. We're doing this on the day of its release, and I was able to. I've been pulling together information over the past week and whatever, and it's been it's amazing. Yes, thank you guys so much for joining us on video. We are currently on Facebook.com/Funkatopia, but you can't participate there. You can just watch the live thing because they've already kicked the people off because they've heard the copyrighted music. YouTube, we're still live. You can still comment and talk on YouTube with fellow Prince fans here on YouTube, and you can also do it on Mixcloud as well. So mixcloud.com/Funkatopia, youtube.com/Funkatopia. So again, here we are. It's the Welcome to America album chat, and that was Stand Up and Be Strong. That's Prince's one cover song that is on this album. That's a cover of Soul Asylum's song, and it is from their album The Silver Lining, which brings us to the next song on this album called Check the Record. Very significant song here that has Prince once again railing on individuals who like to make up their own stories. We have heard many interviews with him where he's called out people who continue to spread mistruths and lies about him. And this song definitely speaks to that. He obviously changes the dialogue and the story a little bit to kind of reflect on a woman. I don't know who this woman is that he's referring to in here, but he kind of makes it so it's people that are talking about this particular person that don't have the story straight. But this is something that he always talks about, and it frustrates him to no end because this song definitely speaks to that, where he discusses people who need to check the record before opening your mouth and spreading a bunch of inaccuracies. Or the other side of this, the flip coin is, if you're judging someone for something without understanding the entire story and the background, this song is also about you. Check the record, look to find out what the true story is before you go opening your mouth. It is the rockiest track on the album. It's got this really punchy staccato. It was only played once. But again, this goes to what we were talking about earlier, where Neil Carlin was saying, "Oh, this album shouldn't have been released. He wouldn't have wanted. He didn't even play any of these tracks live." And that's not true. This is actually the third or fourth song on this album, and that did see some live parts. And it was played once on January 18th, 2013, at the Dakota Jazz Club and Restaurant in Minneapolis, Minnesota, and in the vault, the track was originally called The Record. The name changed once it landed here on this album, and then it was called Check the Record. And Morris Hayes said that Prince wanted to add guitar to this song, but he never did. The part of the song where Prince sings the guitar solo is kind of where it would have been. And Morris said that was going to be his guitar, a harmonic kind of thing. He was doing a dummy track of what he was going to do, and it just got left like that. So that's what you're going to hear a little bit here in this song. Liv Warfield is an avid fan of this song. She says, "I love Check the Record, the bass, everything. I obsess about that tune. I would think, when are we going to play these tunes live? But we never really played any of them." Now, she must not have been at the Dakota show. Millions of us weren't. Here it is, the next song on this amazing album, Welcome to America, as part of the Welcome to America album chat. The song Check the Record. Here it is on the Funkatopia radio show and Funkatopia Live, baby. All right. I see we are still. Good night to you guys who have to leave. Adriana, I know that you got to work in 3 hours and you're still, oh my gosh. We will make sure that we get the video out there so that you can actually watch and whatnot. But yeah, it's going to be amazing. So glad that you were with us. Adriana's hanging out for one more song. Adriana says, "I'm going to regret it later when that alarm goes off." Yeah, that's always the case for me too. We sit here and we sit here and we listen to the music and songs. And this happens with concerts too. I remember there was an after party that I went to with Prince, and it was late. And I remember thinking to myself, because it was like 3 o'clock in the morning or 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, and I had to go to work. I had to leave to go to work to be at work by 9, but because I was going to the office at that time, I was going to have to leave at 7. This was already 3 o'clock in the morning, and I'm thinking to myself, why am I here? Why am I doing this? But then I thought, what's going to happen? What's going to end up happening is that I'm going to end up looking back on this show and going, oh my gosh, I'm so glad I was there, but I'm not going to remember the suffering. I'm not going to remember how horrible I felt the next morning. That's not what I'm going to remember. I'm going to remember this show. And that's it. I don't specifically remember feeling like crap that next morning, but I do remember that show. I do remember that after party. Yes, that's right, Patricia. We go hard for Prince, Purple Army. Yes, absolutely. So glad all you guys are joining us. Again, if you're watching on Facebook and trying to comment, Facebook has already kicked the audience out. So if you want to chat and hang out with some of these fine Prince folks, just go to youtube.com/Funkatopia and join us there, or mixcloud.com/Funkatopia and join us there. We see we've got some people that are watching on Mixcloud, but nobody has even said one comment on Mixcloud yet. So it's a great place to watch if you want to just sit back. Vanity says, I remember going to work after the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame after party, and I will tell you I was wore out at work, but worth it. Yep, that's it. Powerade Zero Sugar. If anybody's on a diet or whatnot and needs to cut down on carbs, this Powerade Zero Sugar, the blue one, is actually pretty good. The grape one is okay, but it tastes like cough syrup to me. I didn't think it tasted like cough syrup when I tried it, but then somebody said, it tastes like cough syrup, and now that's in my head. But it's a good one. But I hope everybody's got some great plans for this weekend. I know part of your plans are definitely going to be listening to this album in your car or while you're doing yard work or whatever it is. If you're in the South, don't do any yard work. All right, we've got 9 seconds because it's a nightmare. It's like almost 100 degrees here in Atlanta. It sucks. Here we go. And that was Check the Record, the next song on this album, Welcome to America. This is the Welcome to America album chat here on Funkatopia Live. I'm your host, Mr. Christopher, and we are going through all kinds of fun stuff. If you're joining us via video on YouTube or on Mixcloud, you can see some visuals. I've got a bunch of pictures that are going as I'm kind of doing the album chats, but there is perfectly plenty enough to take in from an audio-only standpoint for sure. There's tons of people online listening to the app, and I hope you guys are having a good time. Matter of fact, as soon as this album chat is over, we are going to do a listening party, and I am going to turn the video off, and we are going to listen to this album in its entirety on the app. So if you have the Funked Up app, you'll definitely want to turn it on because we're going to listen to it all the way through without any interruptions from my lame self. So anyways, thank you guys for joining us here on this Friday night. We normally do the show on Tuesday nights, but it's the release date of this album. We could not do anything. Also, shout out to my sometimes co-host, Mr. Rob Rhythm, who is on site in Phoenix, Arizona at Grand Avenue Records. He's over there at Grand Avenue because they're doing a listening party there at Grand Avenue Records, which literally just started. So they just opened the doors at 6 o'clock. They're giving away a little Welcome to America enamel pins and listening to this album in its entirety. So if you're in that area, you might still have time to get over there before the album is over for sure, because the album is almost an hour long. So you're still good there. And I'm sure they're letting people come in and whatnot, and they're going to start this whole process. But definitely go and check this out. Anyways, back to the album chat. Same page, different book is the next song on this album. And it is, it was streamed as audio only, not without any video, audio only over a static video of, do anybody remember the Third Eye Girl YouTube channel? Back in 2013-ish, 2012, 2013, they had a Third Eye Girl had a YouTube channel, and what they would do is it would just pop up stuff just randomly. They would live just put up some music, and it would just come up out of nowhere. And there are so many amazing songs that were debuted there. Menstrual Cycle, Octopus Heart, Chapter and Verse. There was so many cool jam sessions and things that we also play on the Funked Up radio station as well on a regular basis during our Prince blocks, which happens every single day from 7 till 2. Both 7 to 2s, by the way. So you've got tons of music. Anyways, great stuff. And this song, Same Page, Different Book, was streamed on that YouTube channel, but there was no video going along with it. It was just the song itself. All 3 of the background vocals on this song, which are Shelby, Liv, and Elisa, all settled that this song, they all decided, everybody was asked, what is your favorite song on this album? And all of them pretty much agreed across the board. Same Page, Different Book was their favorite off of this album, mainly because of how insanely funky it is. The full band played on this track, and surprisingly, they really didn't know any of the songs before they played them. We talked a little bit about that before when Tal Wilkenfeld was mentioning it earlier in the album chat when I was saying that they would just go into the studio and Prince would tell them, hey, we're going to do this chord, then we're going to do this chord, and then this bridge is going to be this chord. And they would just play it instrumentally, and they would just do this jam session normally in one take. And Prince wasn't singing or anything. He would just walk up to the mic and go chorus, chorus, bridge, chorus. And that was it. So it was as if Prince was just kind of unloading his brain bank of songs onto these people. And again, Tal Wilkenfeld, who is the young bass phenom, who was 21 at the time of this, when recording this album, she said that they would just be grabbing hold of the chord structures, and Prince would call out to her and say, bass fill. And she had no idea it was coming. She said it happened multiple times, and especially in this particular song, but almost everything that you're hearing on this song, Same Page, Different Cuff, Same Page, Different Book, is just off the cuff. It's just off the cuff. It's crazy. Liv Warfield was also asked last minute to come up with a rap on this song, and she wasn't even sure if she could do it because she never really had written a rap before. But Prince completely believed in her and said, "You can pull this off. You can." So Liv Warfield said, "She said, Liv Warfield." Let me try this again. Liv Warfield said that Prince said, "I need a rap around here. Go out in the hallway right here, okay?" Yeah, I mean, who does that? Like. That's one thing I think all of us can agree on. Like, this man would make me believe in myself more than I even believe in myself and show me that I could do things that I didn't think I could do. He didn't ask to see it or anything. So she goes out into the hallway and she writes a rap and she just comes back. And she says, he trusted me and I did it and he loved it. And it was like, oh, snap. Like, okay, I'm rapping. I got bars. That was a quote from her coverage with Andrea Swenson on the official podcast. They did, they're talking a little bit about that. Elisa said that the 4 of them would drive around in his black SUV. This is something that he did quite a bit when he was listening to music, because he said that most people listen to music in the cars. So this would always be the ultimate test for him with songs, is playing it in the car where everybody can it just is what it is. It got the song blasting and the windows rolled down, and all she could think of was how this song was going to put him back on the map. That this song here should absolutely be on the radio. And of course, it didn't come out until now. Now, let's talk about what this song means. I don't want to get too far down a rabbit hole, but the song focuses on religion, which is yet another edge to this sharp blade of an album. And it's one that I have preached on before. I'm going to go down a little bit of a rabbit hole just for a second, because a good friend of mine named Billy Starnes, who is now named Billy Red Horse Starnes, wrote a book called years ago called Dirty Little Gods: The Musing, Rants, and Ravings of a Heretic. And you might still be able to find it. I don't know, maybe on Amazon or something, but the author is called Billy Flying Red Horse Starnes. I just know him as Billy. I've known him before this book. I knew him before he was the amazing religious leader that he is today. Believe it or not, he's an amazing, but he decided, I don't know, it was probably in the 90s, I guess. He decided to dedicate his life to understanding religion and Zen Buddhism. And he was trained in both the Japanese Soto Zen Buddhist and the North American Flower Soldier traditions. And he was named Reverend Billy Flying Red Horse Starnes. And he is also the co-founder of a school called the Zen Earth School. And he was also formally ordained first as a Zen disciple in 1995 by Zenkai Toin, and later to the priesthood in the Church of the East in 1997, and awarded the licentiate, I can't even say the word, licentiate of sacred theology by Patriarch Mar Joseph Narsai in 1998. And he's one of my closest friends even to this day. I used to play in a band with him. We talk all the time. And he is just, I just see him as Billy. He's always just Billy. A lot of people see him as this minister and reverend and religious leader, and he's just Billy to me. I basically keep him ungrounded. It's basically what I do. But after reading that book, Dirty Little Gods, which was his first book, and that he isn't really very proud of, by the way. He's written other books, but he has learned a lot since then. And he said something profound to me when I was younger and a tad dumber. He said, there is one thing that all religions have in common, and that is God. All religions believe in God. Even Satanists believe in God. And that was just profound to me. So that is the general message here with this song. Same page, different book. We all believe in the same thing, but just have slightly different views on it, to the point where those minute, slight differences cause hate and wars and death and destruction. It even refers to the Middle East, where kids come in and set off car bombs just because those folks that they're bombing believe something totally different than what you believe, or even something slightly different. And the chorus is the primary focus here, saying, same page, different book. So much more in common if you only look. One God, whatever name we took, only matters when it comes to war. What are we? What are we? What are we fighting for? We are all on the same page. It's just a different book. That's it. And it's just so much more in common if you only just pay attention. It's pretty straightforward, according to Morris Hayes. He said, same page, different book is about how everybody's got different views about religion and philosophy, but really at the end of the day, we're all on the same page, but it's just a bunch of different books. But there's so much more. There's a lot that we do have in common. And there is some humor embedded into the song. He's got some references about upside your head. He says upside your head, and then he goes, oops, which is kind of a little bit of a reference to the Gap Band song, Oops, Upside Your Head, during one of the verses. You'll hear it, listen for it. It's a little side reference here. But Prince also quotes from scripture and gets a bit philosophical as well. And this is in the lyrics of the song, surprisingly enough. He said, Galatians chapter 3 says, the law was as good as dead. Have faith in the life, death, and resurrection of the second Adam instead. Would bring our soul salvation if there's works in the faith we choose. But if you're all alone, throwing stone, who do you think's gonna lose? Who do you think's gonna lose? It's all a tad strange because, such a heavy message set against this backdrop. I'm sorry, let me try this again. The song is strange just because of the fact it's such a heavy message, but it's set against the backdrop of this happy, upbeat track. But I guess he wouldn't be Prince if he didn't do that. He'd rather you dig the song and sing along. Recorded on March 11th, 2010. And as mentioned before, the song was also played on Third Eye Girl's YouTube channel on January 6th, 2013, as part of their random YouTube streams. And this song also, hey Neil, this song also saw some life live in concert in the live world. First time was May 12th, 2011 at the Troubadour in West Hollywood. And then again, for the last time, May 26th, 2011 at the House of Blues on Sunset Strip Foundation Room in West Hollywood, California. It is Prince on all vocals and instruments, Shelby J, Liv and Elisa, of course, Michael B. Nelson on trombone, Steve Strand on trumpet, Dave Jensen on trumpet, Kenny Holman on tenor sax and flute, and Kathy Jensen on baritone sax and clarinet. So here it is. Same page, different book, collectively, across the board. Everybody that's playing on this album pretty much agrees this song is the bomb in a good way. Same page, different book, right here on the Funkatopia radio show on Funkatopia Live. It's Welcome to America. And here's the next track. So, let me see what I missed. Only matters when it comes to words. I think that's right. Oh, Stacy said that she's having you know, Adriana says, Funkatopia takes me through those late night shifts. Thank you. You're welcome, Adriana. But I don't want you, please don't suffer. I don't want you to be down the 2 hours sleep, dear. Oh my gosh. I can tell you, maybe get this stuff, this Crystal Light with caffeine. If you get this, that's normally good. Zip Fizz is really good too. It's a container. It's a Zip Fizz, and you can add it to your water, and it really helps you with B12. It's got caffeine. It's also got B12 and everything, so it's actually really, really good. So, yes. Let's see what else. Oh, Vanity's got, it said Orange Gatorade Zero is pretty good too. I'll have to check that out. I think I got a couple of different flavors because I wanted to try some of that, but you know, it is what it is. Stacy said she was on Mixcloud but couldn't view it on her TV. All right, cool. Who is all right, so yeah, again, Rob Rhythm should be on is at Grand Avenue Records in Phoenix, Arizona right now as we speak on a listening party. We're doing an album chat right now. We'll have a listening party after this because I want to play the album in its entirety with no interruptions from me, no commercial interruptions either, all the way through. And we're going to have a good time. We're going to enjoy that together. But I'm going to leave the video because if I do that on video, then this is all going to be trashed, and YouTube and Facebook are going to just, you know, kill. All right, Adriana says, LOL, I'm out. Love you, Purple Family. Love you too. Hope you have an amazing time. And you'll be able to hear the rest of this later. Thank you, Adriana. Nikia says, love this tune. Yes, it's amazing. It's a great, great song. It's my, it's kind of my third favorite song on here. I love Running Game, Son of a Slave Master. I love that song. I also love 1010 Rin Tin Tin, which we're going to get to in a couple of songs. But then this one comes in really, really close as well. Yes is amazing too. So many great songs in this album. We're going to have to continue listening to it again in its entirety. Once we get done with this album chat, we'll be going through all this stuff. And again, I'm trying to find this perfect balance of music, and it's tricky. It's tricky, switching between images and whatnot, and it's so tricky. It just is what it is. We got a sexy song coming up next. The sexy song of the album. We got it coming out. Yeah, for those of you who have listened to the whole entire album, let me know what your favorite song is on this album, because I mean, some of you have probably already decided what your favorite song is. And oh my gosh, I just looked at the numbers on the app. So many people on the app. Thank you guys so much for joining me on the app. But again, this video, I have to keep running my mouth the whole entire time. It's a nightmare. But it's fine because I got to keep talking over the music, because if I don't, then we're going to get totally canned off of Facebook, and then we'll be kicked off of YouTube. So I'm just going to have to save this, hopefully keep everything in its entirety, and we'll get this posted. What's interesting is that after I do the video, Mixcloud sends me a notification saying that the what we just did was ready to be published. But when I publish them, it only publishes the audio and not the video. So I don't know exactly what's happening there, but I don't know. We'll go through and figure it all out. I got 27 seconds, and we'll go back into the album chat, and we got a sexy song coming up. I hope you guys are ready. We only got a few more songs, so hang tight. Actually, 4 more songs, but this it's going to go quick. So it's going to be great. All right, 10 seconds. Going back into the album chat. So much fun. And that was Same Page, Different Book on the Funkatopia radio show, Funkatopia Live. This is the Welcome to America album chat. We're going over every single one of the songs in their entirety and talking about the history of the album and talking about the history of the background of every single one of the songs. And we are on track number 9 of 12 on this album chat. And then after we get done with this, we're going to do a listening party and listen to this album in its entirety with no commercial interruption on the Funked Up app. So stay put. But right now, we're kind of just giving you a little bit of background so that when you listen to this at the listening party, you'll be able to take it all in and really appreciate it for the actual background and everything that's there. Which brings us to, again, number 9. The song When She Comes. It's the sexy song off of the album. It's a version of the song was already out there that was released on Hit and Run Phase 2, but it was very different from this. That version had more instrumentation that kind of had Prince on vocals, which is the same on both days. But on that particular one, it had John Blackwell on drums, Andrew Goucher on bass guitar, Michael B. Nelson on trombone, Steve Strand on trumpet, Dave Jensen on trumpet, Kenny Holman on tenor sax, Kathy Jensen on baritone sax and clarinet, and Marcus Anderson on saxophone and flute. Oh, Kenny Holman also plays the flute as well. That version has all those players on it. This version is just pretty much Prince on everything. Matter of fact, he was very clear that that's how he wanted it. And this song is obviously, this type of song is a must for any Prince album. It has to have, all albums have to have at least one romantic slow jam track that just kind of makes you feel some sort of way. And this is the one for this album. A little sexy time is part of his recipe, as it has been from the beginning. Elisa Fiorillo said he wouldn't even play When She Comes. He wouldn't let us sing on it, and he wouldn't play it, Shelby J. quipped. We sang on everything else, but not on that. He was like, I got that. That is Prince all day. And Shelby J. said she knew why he didn't want anyone in the studio with him when recording this. She said, I heard about 3/4 of it and saw the lyrics. And there was one point where we were actually in the studio going over the background vocals for it. And then he said, no, I'm going to do this myself. So he's not even letting the girls do the background vocals on this. And we've heard these stories before when Prince is very, very self-conscious about how he sounded on certain songs. For some reason, that wasn't the case live. So I don't know why. I guess the studio is a different element when he's laying down something and the vocals have to be perfect. But for some reason, he didn't feel like he could, when there were other people in the studio, he really didn't feel like he could cut loose and get to that vocal delivery that he wanted if there were people in the studio watching him, especially when you're singing songs like this that are, really, sexy and kind of got, it's just, anytime that he did this, like with International Lover, it was him and Morris Day in the studio. He didn't stay sexy. He kind of made it a little jokey, just because he couldn't get into that mode, probably with Morris sitting there. And it was just unusually self-conscious for a man who's as talented as he is. And this song was probably a tad different in that realm, because at this point, he had announced in 2001, and you've heard me say this many times, he had announced in 2001 that he had moved on from some of the heavy sexual overtones and from using profanity on the stage. And he announced that from the stage during the One Night Alone tour. So he had moved away from all those heavy sexual overtones, and he was probably a tad wary about how his co-performers may kind of side-eye him on that if they're in the studio while he's trying to do it. And Elisa Fiorillo said, we weren't allowed to sing on that one. When he was done, he played a little snippet, and then he stopped, and he's like, that's enough. You can't hear the rest. And there was a little bit of sexual innuendo to it. Out of respect for his sisters, which is what he called us, he didn't want us to listen to it. Also of note, archivists did find this song on a CD in the vault called Live Band Tracks at the time, and it was on this CD with some other tunes like Screwdriver, Shades of Umber, and Ain't Gonna Miss You When You're Gone, all of which were later than this one, which were kind of like 2012, 2013 era. I guess that's kind of like the Third Eye Girl era. But there was also another song. We had mentioned a song that had come out of these sessions called Wood, W-U-D, that I'd never heard, and I still have not heard. And there was another song that was also on this Live Band Tracks song CD called The Secret Text. The Secret Text on that CD that caught my eye, yet another unreleased track. About going back to this track, When She Comes, Morris Hayes said he loves the track. He said, that song is so dope. It's a throwback to how cool it was to hear his falsetto over some simple music. He said, I made a joke about it. I said, this is old Prince. This is going to get you in the witness protection program at Jehovah's Witnesses. You are going to get in trouble for this. And he just had a little bit of a laugh about it. Yet another song that was played live a couple of times. What's that? 5 songs now off of this album that had actually seen some stage play, even though people are saying none of these songs got played live. That's not true. When She Comes was played May 11th, 2011 at the Troubadour in West Hollywood, California. And then the last time it was played was February 21st, 2016 at the second show, which is the Prince Piano and a Microphone tour at the State Theatre in Sydney, NSW, Australia. So here you go. It's the sexy song on the album, When She Comes. A little bit different from the When She Comes that you probably heard before. And here it is right here on the Funkatopia radio show. You're listening to the Welcome to America album chat. It's Prince's brand new album, and we're going through it track by track. And here's this one, When She Comes. This is a great track. I don't know if so you did something else. Yes, says this version reminds me of On the Couch. You were absolutely right. Now that you say that, you were absolutely right. It does kind of have that On the Couch vibe to it. Let's see. Let's see. Patricia says, you're doing a great job. I don't know if she's referring to me or somebody else, but I'm going to take the credit for that one because I feel like I am being raked over the coals on this one here for sure, because there's so much to read and so much to go through for sure. And hopefully Misty Lee is also talking about this. Says, you're the best. So, yeah, but it is amazing. Michelle says, yes, I have been at the after party and roll into work. It's not, you can call in, but I've never called in. I can't say that. That's a lie. That is such a lie. I have absolutely called into work many times after not being able to make it, after being at one of Prince's after parties or a concert. Not even, just hanging out with all different types of bands, hanging out with NPG after one of their parties posthumously, but it's just incredible. Miss D. Lee says, Prince does sexy songs like nobody else. And Vanity's Mirrors says, we had to make it dark in the room. Yeah, they probably did. Yeah, Elisa was around during those sexy years, so she absolutely, positively, I think all of them were probably around at some point in time, but Elisa was actually actively working, and Morris Hayes was too, obviously. Arlene says, I'm glad Elisa and P reconnected. She seems like such a great person. Yeah, she did. And for those that don't know a lot about her personal life, which I'm not going to go into here, but she's been through the ringer. She's been, her life was totally turned upside down, over the past few years. So prayers up to Elisa. I know she's been through a lot, and it's been tough for sure. Oh, so we did this with confirmation. Misty Lee says, we mean you, Mr. C. Ah, thank you. Patricia said, yes, you, Christopher. Thank you guys so much. And this is, again, when we do this album chats, it's a lot. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of stuff going on. And it's just it's an absolute positively. It's just a lot. I'm trying to see if there's anybody else. Yeah, so YouTube. Facebook has not sent me any type of message. Hey, listen, if you're on YouTube and you have not, let me also say this too. This is pretty important. If you guys are on YouTube right now and you have not subscribed to this channel, please click on the subscribe button somewhere down there, wherever it's at. I think I'm small screen, so I look like a I look like a T-Rex, but there's a subscribe button down there somewhere. If you have not subscribed via YouTube, please subscribe. Please subscribe. I would greatly, greatly appreciate it because we're trying to get some numbers here on YouTube and so that we can start doing bigger and better things on YouTube. We've been on YouTube for a while, but we've never taken it seriously. We're just like, meh, kind of put everything into the Facebook basket, which is an idiotic and stupid mistake. So we're fixing that, and we're going to do a bunch of fun things. But I'm going to record some absolutely crazy, insane video, and yeah, I'm gonna record something absolutely insane and get that viewership up, just to build up the numbers, just to do it. So, yeah, me too. Lots of late nights. Yeah, Kristen, I hear you. It's a nightmare. Yes, and also thank you, Misty. Also follow on Mixcloud. Yeah, because Mixcloud is also important too. So whenever we go live on Mixcloud, and I do one of my DJ sets, which can be pretty much only Mixcloud anyways, you got to tune in. All right, here we go. We got 6 seconds. We are back on. Hope you guys are listening on the app too, enjoying it. And that was When She Comes, the sexiest song of the album. I hope you guys are enjoying that one. That's a great one. It's a great track. And somebody said, yes, it reminds me of On the Couch. And you're absolutely right. It just sounds just like On the Couch, so you say that. Now, every time I hear that song, I'm not going to be able to get that out of my head. That was When She Comes. Very, very different from the version that you may have heard previously. And which brings us to the next song on this album chat for Welcome to America, the song 1010, Rin Tin Tin. Anybody remember Rin Tin Tin from your childhood? Anybody at all remember Rin Tin Tin? I'm going to let you Google it because this song has nothing to do with that. But I wanted to, it's still silly. It's just a bunch of silliness. But matter of fact, I'm not going to talk a whole bunch about this song because I love this song. It's a great track. It's called 1010, Rin Tin Tin. There obviously was a conscious decision to make this track 10. The song is called 1010. They made the track number 10. 10, 10, 10. Rin Tin Tin. But back in, anyways, it may have been an accident, a happy accident. Maybe it's a happy accident. I don't know. But it's track 10. 1010 is track 10. Back in 2017, after his passing, there was a Prince exhibit called My Name is Prince that took place at the O2 in London, England. And they had the lyrics to this song on display. And it denoted some of the lyrics and that the song was in the key of F. So for any of those music buffs out there who are trying to go ahead and take it all in and learn all these songs, there's your starting point. The song is in the key of F. And you can, if you're watching the video right now, you can actually see those lyrics written on a Office Max tablet of paper. And a line of the lyrics reads, if you ask the Lone Ranger, Rin Tin Tin, 1010, but also on that sheet, the L in Lone Ranger is corrected from a B. So it said Bone Ranger. That references Bone Ranger from 18 and over. Hi-oh, Silva, it's the Bone Ranger. But I guess it may have had Bone Ranger in the lyrics to this song, but the B was changed to an L. So it just says Lone Ranger now. Jason Egel, I assume that's how you pronounce his name. His last name is spelled Bagel, I mean, it's not spelled bagel. It's spelled Egel, like bagel without a B. Egel, who was also a recording engineer on this album as well. He has hands on this album as well, has fond memories of this song. He said, it takes me back to that totally weird time in my life, this extremely surreal experience. He said some of the things like 1010, Rin Tin Tin, I can remember listening to that with him next to me. So it was really crazy to hear it again. I just remember sitting in the studio and him playing a guitar solo next to me. And I'm a guitar player, and I grew up listening to the Batman soundtrack in my room as a kid. And here he is playing ripping guitar, and I had to turn my face away while he's playing and try not to laugh because it was just a surreal thing that was happening. And as far as the song is concerned, it's only Prince on this song. Only Prince. Nothing else going on here, but it's an amazing song. It's one of my favorite tracks on the album. It's 1010, Rin Tin Tin. Here it is, the next song on this album, Welcome to America, in the album chat on Funkatopia Live. Another one of my favorite songs on here. I really didn't go too much into what this song was about. Yes, it was. You're right. It was about a canine superhero, Rin Tin Tin. That's right. Kind of like similar to Lassie, where you could talk to him and he would bark, and you could, I guess, understand everything that he was saying. You're like, bark, bark, bark. Somebody's trapped in a well. So yeah, Rin Tin Tin was very funny. And this is kind of another song that has to do with it's just talking about how everything in the world is kind of collapsing and everything is just going downhill, and this is like the core definition of the entire album, and it's a great song. I was trying to read, and I think it was in the book. I want to say it was in the book that pull the book up here, talking about the lyrics to Rin Tin Tin. Let me pull it up here. It talks about call to all the women, call to the man. Who could be stranger than the times we're in? Earthquake, flood, y'all better hurry, kin. Ask the Lone Ranger, Rin Tin Tin. Flowing just like water through the sands of time to the marrow of the bone and the eye of the mind. Like drink if you are thirsty and sight if you are blind. We got to let the funk unwind. Sons of God and daughters of man, enmity between us since the fall began. What about genetics do we not understand? Maybe we should listen to the band, Rin Tin Tin. So basically, it's the same exact scenario with the whole entire. This is in the this beautiful, beautiful book that comes with the deluxe version of the album. But yeah, it's about everything that's going on in the world right now, and I guess it's just in Prince's ways, he's just saying, Rin Tin Tin. Ask Rin Tin Tin. Get saved from a dog. I don't know. This is Prince at his best, where it seems like there's such an amazing deep message hidden somewhere in here, and you don't necessarily know exactly what he's saying as far as how it ties to the title. Yeah, Vanity makes a good point. He makes two television references here, Lone Ranger and Rin Tin Tin. So yeah, that's what it is. Record the old man from the Funked Up app. He needs a video. Yeah. Well, what's good is that I'm actually that's the reason for the second mic, is I'm actually recording the audio so that if anything goes haywire, we can hear everything perfectly well. This is one of my favorite songs. I have no idea what they're doing on the listening party in Phoenix, Arizona. I might have to try to reach out to Rob at some point, maybe after the listening party, and just kind of see what's going on there. But I'll give him a text here in a little bit, and hopefully he'll be able to answer. Maybe he'll live stream us. I will go on Facebook Live after this, just Facebook Live, Now maybe I'll send them a StreamYard link, and we'll go Facebook and YouTube and just kind of check out what's going on with the listening party over there in Phoenix, Arizona. And just because kind of imagine, I don't think they've probably started the album right out of the gate, right at 6 o'clock. I'd imagine that they're probably doing something else over there. I don't know exactly what, but we're going to find out. We'll set up a StreamYard meeting, and we will see if we can get a little bit of behind the scenes, because they're like 3 hours behind us. So it's 6:52 right now. So they're that listening party started 52 minutes ago, which is the exact length of the album. So either they're just getting done. I can't imagine that's what it is. Okay, we're going to go back. And that was 10-10, Rin 10-10, track 10 on this 12-track album, which means you only got a couple songs to go. And if you're joining us via Funked Up app, thank you guys for hanging out. There is a visual component to this, if you can tolerate mixing the two. We are on facebook.com/Funkatopia, which has kicked all the participants off, but you can still watch the video there, or you can also participate and join in on a conversation at youtube.com/Funkatopia or mixcloud.com/Funkatopia, all of which are live with video and visuals as well. I'm sharing photos and things, so I hope you guys will definitely join us. We got 2 more songs to go, and the second to last of which is a song called Yes. Another one of my favorite songs on this album, recorded on the same day as the title track, Welcome to America, but it has nothing to do with the song Yes on the album by The Family. All of the girls remembered this track when they were asked to talk, think about the recording process of all these songs that were on this album. They said the primary reason why they remember this song is because of how intense the vocals are, that literally had all of them holding notes for like insanely long periods of time. Once you hear the song, the vocal part will stand out to you now that I've kind of brought it to your attention, if you didn't know about this story already. The 3 of them were all sharing a mic, so they didn't have each individual person mic'd up. So if one person messed up, all 3 of them would have to do that whole part over again. But in the chorus of this song, they have to sing this chorus part that's like, yay, 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 after. And they have to do that right after coming out of another bridge part. And so there's no space in there to take a breath. And so that's really, really long. Liv Warfield said, and this is a quote from her, she said, he wanted that last note held, even though we change and go with that. Yeah, 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 yeah. We had to try to figure out a place to breathe. I was like, I have never held a note that long in my natural life. And Elisa Fiorillo said, remember when he showed out and said, you can't do it? And then Prince did the line. And then Elisa turns and she asked Liv, do you remember him singing in front of us and holding it out? Shelby J said, we were like, it can't be done. And he's like, yes, it can. I said, Shelby, you better do some breathing exercises or something, honey, because he wants that note held. And we did it. We did it. And whenever Shelby would get worried or feel stressed out about a part, she remembers some of the best advice that Prince had ever given her, which was be like water. She said, Prince would tell me to be like water all the time. Like, Shelby, just flow. Like, you don't have to think so much. You just learn to let go and learn to be like water. And I take that with me now all through my life, how I approach things. I hear him in my head, when I'm looking at 5 different directions and I don't know what to do. And it's like all this stuff is going on and life can get a little chaotic. I hear him in my head. I think, Shelby, be like water, just flow. And it instantly relaxes me instantly. Some of the best advice I ever got. And here it is, the song that is a vocal triumph for the girls. And I want you guys to specifically pay attention to the background vocals on this song and how long they were having to hold out those. Listen to how they're coming out of the bridge and how there's no room for a breath and they go right into the, it's just insane. Pay attention to the background vocals on this song. It's amazing. The song is called Yes. It's the second to the last song on this amazing album, Welcome to America. Here it is. Yes, right here on Funkatopia Live. I hope you guys are listening to the app because I really, guys, want you to hear this background vocal, especially when they get towards the end of the song. It's fantastic. And then we only got one more song to go. You guys made it. Woo! Be Like Water. Patricia goes, yes, the theme of this pandemic as well. Yes, agreed. Fantastic, Chris. Fantastic. Thank you, Andre. I really appreciate it. Thank you. You got a little handicap there on your YouTube. That's fantastic. Andre said, I got to try this Mixcloud stuff. I used to like it at the beginning. That's been great. Let's see what else I got. I'm trying to catch up with all the comments here. Keith said, I feel like I should have gone to the listening party. Well, if you're near Phoenix, Arizona, you probably should have, because it would have been a lot of fun. You would have gotten, it was free to go, and you would have also gotten a little Welcome to America enamel pin that I'm hoping that Rob is going to grab one for me. I said, please grab one. I would love to get this. But Prince's Eyes is picking that piercing smolder. Yeah, he's got that piercing smolder for sure. Let me go ahead and take it off so you don't have that. It doesn't mess you up. Unless you want me to put it back. You want to put it back? I can put it back. Yeah, put it back. All right, now I'm going to take it away. All right. This is what he looked like when he was wet. All right. This is what he looked like when he was behind a guitar. And this is him in the pool. You know, I don't think that I ever have seen Prince swim. Has anybody ever seen Prince swim? Does anybody know if Prince swam? I don't think I'm sure he did. He's pretty talented and everything else. I can't imagine that he did not. Yeah. Oh, here comes that part. Let's pay attention to the girls here. Oh, here it comes. All right, we gotta wait for the little part. I don't want to turn it for the whole entire thing because I want to make sure that we don't get cut off. It's just crazy. And the funny part is that Prince showed him up. Here it is. He's gonna do it again. That's just crazy. It's crazy. That was, yes. I was just telling everybody online that's on the video thing. That's crazy that yay. It's just so long. It's not as long when you're singing it in monotone like I'm doing it, because I'm not going to blow out for you guys. But it's when you're singing at that volume, at that pitch, and it's so long. So congrats to the girls. Oh my gosh, it's amazing. That's a great track. All right, so we are about to do the last song on the album, and then after this, we're gonna do a listening party. I'm gonna cut the video off, and then we're gonna do the entire album, and we're gonna listen back to back. But I will come back on via another StreamYard, pretty much right out of the gate, to see if we can come on and get Rob Rhythm on the line. Actually, I don't know that I'll do that or not. I want to make sure that Rob's going to be able to get on or not. And that would be cool to actually be able to come in and see what's going on at the listening party over in Phoenix, Arizona, if it's not over right now. I can't imagine that it is. My guess is that probably from 6 to 7, it was just a bunch of people hanging out and whatnot. And then they probably played this is Arizona time. So they're 3 hours behind us. So it's like 7 o'clock right now there. So we'll see what happens. Anyways, here it is. The last song on Welcome to America. This has been an amazing album chat. Thank you guys so much for hanging out. I'm so sorry to all the Facebook people that got kicked off. But I see all of you fine folks are listening via the app, so that's amazing. Thank you guys so much for joining us there. Stay put on the app, because right after this is over, we're going to listen to the album without commercial interruption. It's going to be amazing. Again, this takes us to the last album, or the last song of the album. It's called One Day We Will All Be Free. Now, many people have commented on how prophetic that Prince was, considering that this album is over a decade old, and it's very, very still relevant today. Technically, when you look at all the things that are talked about in, as far as this album is concerned, as far as the topicality of everything, the injustice and racism, and just everything that it talks about, all the political corruption, all those things. This message has been going on since the 40s, 50s, 60s. This has been going on. The problem is that we as a country, as specifically United States, haven't fixed any of this stuff. And so while it can be viewed as prophetic, it's almost like a broken record, to be totally honest. I'm just going to say it, because it's like the same things. We have to keep saying the same things. And it's insane to me that nothing has really changed much. Now, Liv Warfield reflected on that during the interview with Andrea Swenson, which again, please check it out on the official podcast. It's the story of Welcome to America. Excuse me, Welcome to America. They only have 2 episodes right now. But she said to Andrea, she said, I think for me, because the atmosphere was so new, it was mind-blowing for me. I was in shock, and it was a good shock, because I felt like I was just being like, okay, time to grow up, time to musically grow up, and time to be taught, time to listen, and time to really be aware of everything, aware of not even musically, just aware of life's surroundings, and also just the beauty of family. I think it's really, 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 really loved by his music family. And now, as you know, everybody's got their own different careers, and people are doing stuff with their own band. And Elisa's doing shows that we just prepare for, shows I'm recording. But to get back out there, we're coming out of this pandemic and everybody's ready for real music. I mean, the timing of this couldn't be better, because people are hungry for real music by real musicians. And we listen to this now, and I know how listening to it in 2021, isn't it amazing how relevant it is, and how he's tapping on stuff like everything that happened during the election, everything that happened with, you have George Floyd, you have all this stuff that is happening in the world. People are now talking more about Black Wall Street. He was talking about that in 2010. Just to be clear, we are still in Liv Warfield's quote, by the way. I didn't want you to think that I've exited out of the quote. We're still in Liv Warfield's quote. She said, he put me onto Black Wall Street, and I didn't know what that was, the Harlem Renaissance and all of this stuff. He's laying it out there, 2010. To me, it was like, this man is prophetic. I don't know the word prophet. I don't throw around the word prophet easily. But this brother right here, and like I say, it's music. It ain't milk. It don't expire. So, it is even better now, because I think people's ears and eyes are open, coming out of, like I said, the pandemic. Everything people have been through, their eyes and ears are open. They're going to be able to really receive what he's saying on this album. And that's the end of Liv Warfield's quote. Morris Hayes felt the same way. He said, to me, it further solidifies that this was a vanguard artist looking forward. Look at what we're dealing with after George Floyd and everything that happened. And this record is speaking to stuff that is pertinent now. That's what's crazy about it. It's like he could have made this record right now. This just solidifies that Prince was not like your average bear. He was deserving of the titles that people have reaped on him for years, like genius. It gives credence to all the things people have said. So, without further ado, here it is, the final closing message of Welcome to America, the final song on the album. It's called One Day We Will All Be Free. Seems like a perfect closing title, and here it is. The final song on Welcome to America. You were listening to the Welcome to America album chat. It was released today by Prince today, not well by Prince's estate technically, today, July 30th, 2021. The final song on Welcome to America. Here it is. One day we will all be free. Enjoy. So we got oh, Keita, listen to you all day at work. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. It's amazing. Yeah, you guys were talking about yes, and Patricia was saying, wow, yeah, nowhere to breathe. Yeah, there isn't. There's nothing in there. Patricia also said, at first reading the plays, I thought the last song was a cover of Donny Hathaways' song. Yeah, I thought that too. But yeah, it's not. It's definitely not. Andre is trying the vocals via text to yes. Doing the yeah. Andre, you did it without taking a breath. Nikia says real music. All right, let's see what we got here. Let me see if I can get to Rob. Let me see here. Let me I'm gonna text Rob and see what he's up to. And let's see if we can get online and see if we can do something. Let's see if we can figure it out. All right. Doing the last song right now. About 5 minutes left in the show. Maybe 10. I'll say that. Maybe 10. But anyways, so we'll see what Rob has to say. Maybe he will respond, and we'll see what he says. But yeah. So that is the album. Has anybody thank you, Nikia. Nikia says, I've always enjoyed the album tests. I've learned so much. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. Stacy, thank you so much for the hearts and whatnot. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. So yeah, has anybody not heard the album before tonight? Has anybody still not heard this album in its entirety yet? Or has everybody pretty much heard it? I mean, because I think it was automatically, as of midnight or something, it was released on Spotify, and I think they also put the songs on YouTube. I don't know why they do that. But anyways, I know that they did that. But has anybody here not heard any of this? Well, besides the songs that were released. Oh, D, you have not heard him. Great. Well, you definitely need to make sure. I definitely think you need to make sure that you listen to the Funked Up app after this is over, because I'm going to play the album in its entirety, no commercial interruptions, and it should be awesome because we're going to take it all in. We're going to listen together. So, matter of fact, I got to make sure that I pull this up so that we can make sure that we go right into it, because it's going to be awesome, and I want everybody to listen to the whole entire album. And we're not going to do it on video because we want to make sure that we do not get kicked off. That's going to be important in this process as well. And yeah, so I'm glad that you. Oh, so Dee, thanks so much. She said, "This is the first time with you, and a great way to hear it." Yeah, because you kind of get a little bit of background information on every single one of the songs. And Rob is texting me, said, "Never got like this." Hold on a second. I didn't want to send you the link until I knew that you were still going to be there. Period. I'll send you the link in about 5 minutes, period. Check your email, period. Or I can text it to you here, period. That's probably better, period. Give me a minute. Still got to finish the show, period. It's easier to talk. We're ruled by technology. Stephanie, thank you so much. Thanks again for this. Good way to end a turbulent month week. Yeah, it's been a crazy month, hasn't it? July's been awesome. Oh, we got 15 seconds to go. Yes. So, all right, we got 10 seconds. We're here. All right. Cool. That's it. Hold on. There you go. That was it. That's the final song on Welcome to American. Welcome to America. Prince's brand new album that was just released today, July 30th. 2021, brand new album just hit today, and we just did the album chat for the entire album. Went through every single one of the songs, every single one of them, And it's pretty amazing to me that we're doing this. Here's what I can tell you. Drummer Chris Coleman and bassist Tal Wilkenfeld were invited back to Paisley Park to listen to this album. And just to kind of give you a little bit of insight as to how Prince felt about this album in particular, because now that we're kind of on the other side of the album, I want you to kind of understand this too. Chris said Prince and him sat down, and Chris basically was quoted as this. He said, "Timing is everything, and I don't know what his reasons were for not putting this album out there. I just remember him saying that he was happy. He was happy with us. He was really happy because he said it. He said, I've been waiting to get this sound out. Thank you so much. You really helped me get this sound out. This is different from anything I've done, and I've been sitting on this for a while." And Chris also reflected on how prophetic this album was, like we had already said before. And Chris Coleman said, "It's crazy when you listen to these songs, how it speaks to the terms of what we're going through in this country right now. It sounds like he was just watching the news. And, it's be strong and welcome to America. It's telling true stories, You can fact check those." And now it makes sense when he said to me on the last day or two, "Thank you so much. I've been trying to get this out. I've been trying to get this." I think it was more or less out of me, not just out in the world with just the sound that I've got stuck in my head. And so now here we have the album in its entirety. It's Prince's album, and it's there. This is a sound that he wanted to get out. He sat on this album for a reason. We don't know what that reasoning was. He may have wanted to make some more tweaks, but as I told you before, one of the things that I'm really, really specific about, or particular about, is that I think that if he had been with us during everything that happened, especially in his hometown with George Floyd, that this album would have been pulled off the shelf, because the contents of the music and the lyrics on this album definitely ring true with everything that's going on in the world right now. So it's been such a great, great journey, but certainly would have been a lot better if he had been here with us. That all being said, there you have it, the album chat for Welcome to America. We just went through the history of the album and the background of information of every single song in this album, so I hope you thoroughly enjoyed it. And now, without further ado, we are going to stop the video portion of this album, and we are going to listen in its entirety on the app, the entire album, without interruption. No commercial interruptions whatsoever, except maybe an intro from Morris Hayes. I might let Morris do an intro. I have to let Morris do an intro. And then once he does it, we'll play the album in its entirety. Again, no commercial interruptions, no bumpers, just straight through. So if you wanted to take in this album without any chatter, now's the time to do it. Thank you guys so much for joining us. Here it is, the Welcome to America listening party. And thank you guys so much. We will be coming back on here momentarily with Rob Rhythm from Phoenix, Arizona, who's at a listening party in Phoenix, Arizona. So if you want to tap back into Facebook or tap back into Mixcloud or YouTube on a separate broadcast, we have to stop this broadcast now. We'll be kind of seeing what's going on at the listening party over in Phoenix. So join me for that if you still got a little bit of gas left in your tank. Or you can just chill and listen to Welcome to America in its entirety, front to back. Here you go. Thank you guys for tuning in. I'm Mr. Christopher. This has been Funkatopia Live, the Welcome to America album chat. Good night, everyone.
This is Mr. Hayes from the New Power Generation, and you checking out Funkatopia right now.
All right, everyone. Thank you guys so much. Tune into the app, and you'll be able to hear all this stuff in its entirety. And I will be right back on a separate broadcast so we don't get kicked. Thank you guys so much for everything. Good night, everyone. Good night, Veronica, Many Moons, Stacy, Patricia. Thank you for also participating in some of the conversation. Nakia, Arlene, Vanity's Mirror, Angela. Thank you, Angela. Thank you so much. Angela said, fantastic show. Thank you so much. Andre, don't wear yourself out. Trying to re-sing. Yes, it's too much. Good night, everyone. We'll see you in just a minute. Adios, everyone. Yes, thank you, Miss D. Lee. I appreciate it. I'm sorry if I didn't call everybody out. It's just one of those things. We'll talk to you guys soon. Good night.